Good morning, everybody. I'd like to call this session of the Board of Revision to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation, which is in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Harvey Diamond, and with me in our meeting room today is Robert Belenke, and attending by Zoom, as a lot of the applicants are, is Diane Knight. Our assessor is Kara Kaplifi, and our administrative assistant, who is in the room here with us, is Stephen Lyon. To Zoom participants of the hearing, please note that you are placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it's your turn, you will be admitted to the meeting. Kindly follow along in the City of Winnipeg's Board of Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing is concluded, you can leave the meeting. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment rules in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing must be sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to matters must be sworn in. And please note that comparative assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decision based on the evidence that is produced at the hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decision with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. And should you wish to appeal, information on do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, it will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed to each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by any questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by any questions. Each side will be given an opportunity to summarize if they wish to do so. Once all the evidence upon an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. This process will repeat for each item on our docket today. The session will close after all applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You receive the board's order by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of a public record. And today we'll be hearing items 1 through 4, 8 and 10 through, or 8 and 10 through 15. It's on our docket today. And Mr. Lyon, can you please affirm the assessor and also the first applicant at this time?
Madam Assessor, please state your full name. Oh, sorry, it's the assessor. I will affirm you in a second. Sorry, Kara, you're on mute right now.
Oh, completely.
Kara Kaplevy.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Applicant, if you'll please stand. Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you. Okay, so the first matter on the agenda right now is 1959 Notre Avenue. And Ms. Kaplifi, when you're ready, you can present your evidence on this matter.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is 1959 Notre Dame Avenue. Its roll number is 0709010500. It is in 124 Brooklands neighborhood area. It is a one-story single dwelling built in 1947 with 784 square feet on a surface foundation. It has one full bath, central air conditioning. It has an assessed lot size of 3,744 square feet. The land influences are bus route, commercial adjacent, heavy traffic. It has a 2023 assessment roll value of $114,000, which is a total assessment per square foot of $145.41 per square foot. There is a permit attached to the brief here where there was a constructed a new detached garage to the rear of a single dwelling family unit. I did have someone drive by it just last week, and the garage has not been started yet. The comparables 1 to 4 are also in the same neighborhood, 1 to 4 Brooklands. Comparable 1 is 1863 Ross Avenue West. Comparable 2 is 1805 King Edward Street. Comparable 3 is 1735 King Edward Street. And comparable 4 is 1799 King Edward Street. All the comparables are one-story single dwelling with an age of 1950 to 1956. The square feet of the comparables range 672 square feet to 780 square feet. 3 comparables are surface foundation, like the subject. Comparable 2 is a part basement, which has no basement finish. All comparables have 1 full bath. 2 comparables have central air conditioning, like the subject. Comparables 2 and 4 have no air conditioning. Comparables 2, 3, and 4 have a single garage. The lot sizes of the comparables range from 3,733 square feet to 4,510 square feet. The land influences include bus route, commercial adjacent, heavy traffic, and comparable 3 has the added land influence of an external corner. The sales prices range from $128,000 to $152,500. The time-adjusted sales prices range from $137,500 to $158,300. The time-adjusted sales price per square foot ranges from $176.28 to $234.23 per square foot. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, if you have any questions to the assessor, you can ask them now.
Oh, do I have to stand up or what?
Excuse
Well,
me?
anyway, the question I have, first of all, there is a discrepancy on couple things. I did talk to the board person. I don't know if it was a clerk or somebody, I can't remember now. I have it written down actually their name. The garage itself, it's
Well,
not.
you're not being assessed on the garage now, so.
Oh, no, but I'm just saying because the guy was telling me, oh, the garage is there. I said, no.
The assessor said there was no garage.
Okay, then
Said
the
there's a
other
permit
thing.
taken off for a garage, but it
Okay.
has not been put up yet.
Then plus, I think he was telling me about the deck. Deck been never there.
Yeah, I don't see any deck on the comparison here, so I don't think it'll be assessed for a deck, so I don't think you have to worry about that. But right now, why don't you ask those questions of the assessor if you have them? Now's your opportunity.
Yeah, but
You can give your evidence after, but right now, if you have questions, you can ask them.
okay. No, I guess the area itself is, I don't think it's 784. It's definitely,
Well, if you have evidence for that, you can ask questions.
I don't have
Excuse
evidence.
me, if you have questions right now, you can ask them.
Well,
And if you want to give evidence, you'll get up and do that in a few minutes.
okay. Well, that's the question I'm asking. How did it figure out 784? It's not
Well,
784.
ask that question to the assessor. I'm not here to answer questions for you. I'm here to
Okay.
determine what your assessment should be. You have to address your questions to the assessor who's on the screen.
Yeah, okay. So I just want to ask you, how did you figure out 784? I don't think it's 784.
Well, again, as I said, you can ask your questions to the assessor.
Well, that's exactly what I'm doing, sir.
Well, no, you're looking at me right now. If you have questions, you can sit down and ask the assessor any questions you have.
So I guess the question I have for the assessor, how did you reach at 784? First, the square foot area for that house. And plus, I think you have a comparable with basement. There is no basement. This is basically a crawl space.
Again, you can ask those questions, but I think if we look at this, we see that there is a part basement in one property, but 3 of the comparables are just like yours in the surface foundation. But if you have questions, ask them of the assessor. We're able to see the evidence as well as you are. We've got it before us. Now, if you have any questions, now's your opportunity to ask them. If you don't have questions, you can say, I have no questions, so we'll go forward.
No, I do have a question, but
So
I'm not
ask-
getting a reply.
Please ask the question.
I really don't know what to say.
I think the applicant has some questions to you. Please ask the assessor any questions you have. Right now? Right now? Okay, please ask the question then.
Well, I'm just asking the question. I really don't know. Are we missing something here? I'm so actually
Well, you can give me, you can give the screen, asking the assessor.
on the screen. Okay, the question I have for the assessor, I just said, how did the assessor reach that 784? The area itself is not 784. Of course, she mentioned both traffic and all that. I agree with that. So basically, whatever she had, that's the question I have on the area itself.
Okay, so Mr. Assessor, the applicant is saying that he doesn't believe that the property, the house itself is 784 square feet.
784, she said.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you disagree with that. This has been on record ever since day one. So
The question, the reason I'm asking you this question, because the same thing the guys told me about the deck, it's been there forever. The deck was not there for a long time.
there is no deck added to your property.
Okay, that's good then, because after that, excuse me, but I'm asking the question then, how the city reached to that area 784. That's the simple question I'm asking to the assessor.
Your house is built in 1947, so at that time there would have been plans submitted that the area was determined to be 784 square feet.
Okay, but I think what I'm going to do then.
Excuse me, I'm going to just say this, that if you have evidence, okay, surveyor's certificate, it shows that you have lesser square feet, I'll allow you to submit it. Right now, the assessor's answering your question, indicating that a building permit would have been taken out in 1947. It would have indicated the plans that your house did have 784 square feet. So if you have evidence to the contrary, you can present it after. Right now, the assessor's answer your question as well as the answer.
I think I had
So
some.
please move on.
Excuse me, sorry?
I said, please move on because if
Yeah, because
you have evidence to the contrary, you can present it. You've asked the question, it's been answered.
I have to actually get the drawing from the city because I don't really, I didn't know about this part, that the area 780. I have to get the drawings.
As I said, if you have a surveyor's certificate that shows otherwise, I'll allow you to present it and you give your evidence. Okay, please go on.
Yeah, okay, I can't give the evidence now because I don't have the drawing with me. If I knew about that, I would have got the drawing from the city department there.
No. If you came here, if you are presenting evidence, it's up to you to present the evidence. The city is given their evidence and you've got to provide your own.
No, I provide my own, but basically the permit, from the permit, actually city says it's telling me 784, that is what the permit says. All I'm saying, how I can tell it 1947 if it was built and then their drawings they
I
have.
only answer the question just to give a surveyor's certificate shows otherwise, I'll allow you to present it. So if you have a surveyor's certificate here, I'll allow you to present it when you give your evidence. Right now you're asking questions. Do you have any other questions?
No, because then she mentioned about the air conditioning. I
So
just
you have no
thought,
other questions? Okay, you have no other question, that's fine. Mr. Bilecki, do you have any questions?
No questions for me.
yeah, no, that's okay. I don't have any questions because I think it's basically there is a discrepancy. That's what I'm trying to say because no, I guess I am told that, because you should have brought this. I have to get the information from the city unless I start measuring the.
Okay, Ms. Knight, do you have any questions of the assessor?
I have no questions at this time.
I don't have any questions either, so now you can give your evidence. If you have a surveyor's certificate or something else, you can present it, or if you have any other evidence that you're presenting, please go forward with it.
No, I don't have anything to give to you because I was just basically mentioned to you about, she mentioned about garage, there's no garage, that's fine. And I guess there's no depth. She mentioned only disagreement I have with the area itself. Plus when you compare with the other property, that's another thing I am not sure because some of these properties, they have a partial basement. This one doesn't have a partial basement.
And it indicates that it's on a surface foundation.
Yeah.
We see that, and we see the comparisons that are also on surface foundations. except for one which is a partial basement. So we have all that evidence before us.
Yeah, because
Nobody's saying that your house has a basement. So if that's what you're here about, you're not being assessed for a basement.
excuse me, sorry, sir.
I said you're not being assessed for a basement. You're being assessed for having a house with a surface foundation.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just wondering what your application is about. Why I'm trying to see what your evidence is that
The
your house
evidence is very simple because garage cost more than 20,000. Because based on the garage
is. Your house
itself, I
assessed
don't have.
114,000. City comparisons
Okay.
are all higher. So I'm just wondering, which is the base of your application here, because I'm sure you came here for a reason, and if you have evidence, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, because I guess, but basically all I'm saying to you, when I spoke to the person, and I said, well, I don't even have to come here. I said, I do not have a garage, and there's no plan to build a garage because
You're not being assessed for the garage. It's good.
yeah, okay, it's not assessed on that. The way I see it, that's what I was told. I'm telling you what exactly.
Yeah, no, your assessment's actually $14,000. It's not based on a garage. I can see it's lower than all the other comparisons, and which some of them seem to be pretty good. So if you have evidence that shows that there's something that detracts from your property, so it would not likely be worth $114,000 on the date in question, which would be April 1st of 2021, provided. If not, then I guess your application is closed and we'll consider your application.
No, I appreciate that part because there's a lot of traffic there that she mentioned, which is good. Then because it's not that it's heavy traffic, I guess all around, and then in front of that, then you also have the co-op and those trucks there on all the time, making hell of noise. Pardon me for that, but that's another thing. I guess it's a residential area, but a commercial on the other side. So that's the only question I have. But anyway,
okay, any questions of the applicant, Mr. Levy? Mr. Assessor, do you have any questions of the applicant?
No, I do not.
Ms. Knight, do you have any questions?
I do not.
And Mr. Belenki, do you have any questions?
No, I do not have any questions.
Okay, I don't have any questions either, so we've finished this one. And I understand that you've got another property that's on the docket at 1821 Notre Dame Avenue.
I never got anything on that, so that because I took some pictures. I explained to him, and I showed him what I got, and the letter from the city. It was only for 1959. If
you filed an application on 1821 Notre Dame Avenue. You filed an application for.
No, I do have it. I applied for that, but I can't give you any evidence. I took some pictures. I didn't bring the picture because I didn't see that this was actually on the docket today, because I have only one letter from the city. I showed him that one 1959 Notre Dame only.
I did check our files. We do have our copy of the hearing notice that we would have sent you. If the notice we'd sent you hadn't been delivered, it would have been sent back to us. So you can either speak to your property verbally, or we can continue with the hearing. And then if you have the ability to appeal further to the municipal board.
But then why should I appeal to municipal board? Then I'm telling you, it was sent by ordinary mail and I never got it.
Excuse me, we're going to keep this meeting for a while. If you have evidence at home and you want to come back, I'll stand you down at the end of this meeting and you can come back. We'll be here for a couple of hours probably.
Okay, excuse me. I think we all have a lot of other things. If you want me to say that you come back because I'm not prepared for
it's your application. You say you're not prepared, but you tell me you have evidence at home, you didn't read it because you weren't aware this was going on. I'm giving the opportunity now of going and getting that evidence. I'll stand you down and we'll hear you later on this morning. And why waste another day? You said you've got other things to do. I'll give you an opportunity of getting it done today.
Oh, I can actually try to get the picture. I have to get right, first of all, because I've issued with my eyes. I don't think the board seem to understand. I think I should have told that because I got a right from someone. Now I have to ask for the right.
Excuse me, you got the application. You filed the application. You got the same notice that everybody else gets. It didn't come back, so it's deemed to be delivered. And we're going to either hear it today or it's not going to go forward. We're going to make a decision. And as our administrative assistant just told you, if you don't like the decision that we're going to give, you have an opportunity of appealing it to the municipal assessment board. The municipal board of the province of Manitoba.
So I'm asking simple question. I'm not getting an answer for that. Because our simple question is, I only got 1959 to telling me 821. If that's what they do, send the letter, an ordinary mail. If I didn't get it, then is it my fault? I just have the information for all this stuff, whichever I got. That's the reason I'm here. Otherwise, I would have come with that information. If you said come back in a couple hours, so I wouldn't be doing anything except just coming back to the board. I'll try to do that, and I guess hopefully you can bring those pictures. You guys can take a look at that. And I guess if that's the case, what time do you want me to come back? Because I have to get a ride to go here, then go get this stuff.
You'll be back in an hour.
Excuse me?
Can you be back in an hour? It's almost 25 after 9 right now.
Yes.
So come back by 10:30. I'll send you down.
I don't know if I can come in 1 hour. I'll try to do it because I guess so. It's I have to rely on several things. I guess I'll see. Maybe I'll try to come back at 10:30. I'll let you guys know.
Okay, I look forward to seeing you. We'll
Yeah.
stand this matter down then.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay. I'll do. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next matter is 421 Kimberley Avenue.
Kimberly or?
Here to have an applicant present.
Go ahead, or on Zoom.
No, I don't have a registration for them, so.
Yeah, we'll stand that matter down too. Okay, so this property then after that would be 2302 Knolls Avenue.
Okay, sorry, I missed. We're 1985 Elgin, the homeowner isn't here.
We haven't got to Elgin yet. I don't see it on.
I don't have that one.
I don't see Elgin on the agenda.
Okay, I show it as number 3 on the agenda, but okay.
Yeah, that was Kimberley. It was 3 and 4 is 2302 Knolls Avenue.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Applicant, if you please stand. And please state your full name.
Robert Allen McDonald?
You affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may be seated.
And I should also mention at this time that I've had a concussion and I have no short-term memory, so I may have to ask things so that.
Absolutely. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask whatever you need.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Kaplivi, when you're ready, you can present your evidence on 2302 Knolls Avenue.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is 2302 Knolls Avenue. It has a roll number of 0400358180. It is in the neighborhood area of 427 Kilcona Park. It is a 2-story single dwelling built in 1974. It has 1,820 square feet, a full basement with some basement finish. It has 2 full baths, 1 half bath, It has central air conditioning, one fireplace, and a multiple attached garage. The assessed lot size is 24,998 square feet. It has the land influences of no sewer, no water. It has a 2023 assessment roll value of $409,000, which is $224.73 per square foot. I want to tell you that the property was reviewed during the 2023 residential review program, and the value was reduced down from $429,000 to $409,000, as it shows on the brief there. Comparable 1 is 135 Williamson Crescent. Comparable 2 is 122 Williamson Crescent. Comparable 3 is 116 Orium Drive, and comparable 4 is 2665 Knolls Avenue. Comparables 1 through 3 are in the neighborhood of 424 Grassy. Comparable 4 is 427 Kilconan Park, same as the subject. The comparable properties are all two-story single dwellings with full basement and some basement finish. The year built ranges from 1986 to 1999. Comparable 1, 3, and 4 have 1 full bath. Comparable 2 has 3 full baths. The half baths range from 1 to 3, and the showers are 1 to 2. All comparables have central air. Comparable 1, 2, and 4 have 1 fireplace, which also is the same as the subject. Comparable 1, 2, and 3 have an attached multiple garage, same as the subject. Comparable 4 has a single detached garage. The assessed lot sizes of the comparables range from 5,136 square feet to 97,616 square feet. Comparable 4 has a land influence of hydro, transformer, telephone, no sewer, no water. The sales price ranges from $383,000 to $433,000. The time adjusted sales price range from $394,100 to $493,707. The time adjusted sales price per square foot is $224.94 to $324.38. I just want to say that the subject property was very unique and very hard to find comparables. No sales have occurred. There's only been 4 sales that occurred from 2017 to 2020 that have no sewer, no water. So that presented difficulty to find that land influence. So that's why comparable 4, which is right on the same street and very close to the subject property, we used that. It was a sale of December 2017, and I had the modelers time adjusted to the reference date of 2021. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Ms. McDonald, if you have any questions of the assessor, you can ask them now.
Okay, well, I can read out why I find
No,
the
but
assessment.
I'll give that opportunity, but if you have any questions of the assessor, you can ask them. If you don't have any, excuse me, if you don't have any questions, you don't have to ask any questions at all.
No.
You'll give your opportunity to give the evidence in a few minutes.
Okay,
Okay?
no question.
Okay. Ms. Knight, do you have any questions?
No questions at this time.
Ms. Malinky, do you have any questions?
No questions.
And Ms. Assessor, I can see your predicament. I understand that it'd be hard to find direct comparisons, but I guess I can see that there's a very large lot on both this property and 4 times larger on comparison number 4. Are those properties subdividable? Is there a land value that we have to consider?
It looks like from the aerial map, I'm guessing that they're not subdividable. There looks to be a retention pond or something behind it, but I'm not sure. That's beyond my scope of knowledge. Sorry.
So basically, you don't see an opportunity to subdivide. And okay, you answer the question. Okay, that's my only question. Go ahead, sir. You can give your evidence now.
Okay. I find them invalid because, item one, 3 of the 4 locations chosen for the city assessment had city sewer and water, concrete streets, and buried hydro and communication lines. My house does not have the city sewer and water, and that alone is worth $50,000. Future cost. Road upgrading from chip seal to concrete is another unknown future cost. The buried service lines are better than having pole lines in your yard with hydro setback for trees, etc., and sporadic telephone service. This goes up every time it rains. Now, the 4th location chosen by the city has a lot 3.9 times larger than mine, and the reason for it being valued over $400,000. The others resold in 2020 for under, and the lots in that neighborhood are being subdivided, or that neighborhood is being built up, and that lot can be subdivided at a future date. None of the chosen buildings are of the same vintage. The codes in buildings improve with time. The report compares my house to houses that are 12, 13, 20, and 25 years newer than mine, i.e. houses with greater grades of construction. Now, I've got R7 in the walls and some aluminum wiring. Item 4, none of the chosen sites have the same provincial government setback requirements from city-owned landfill and the potential for costs associated with it, like testing for migrating methane gas from the garbage dump and getting a ministerial variance. The cost is unknown, but that's an expensive project. You also have a test for carcinogens in the well water. They originate from hazardous materials the city allowed to be unlawfully deposited in the sanitary landfill, both before and after it closed and became a park, and which are now leaking into the retention pond and the aquifer of our well. Item 5. None of the chosen sites have an adjacent city-owned golf course with such low maintenance that the adjacent properties are threatened by aging trees falling on their property and subject to unsightly vermin-infested uncut boulevards bordering on the golf course in violation of the city livability bylaws. Item 6. None of the chosen sites have the hazard of the city rerouting ditch water to an retention pond by digging ditches so low that Knolls Avenue is currently slumping into the ditch in many sections of the road. Not all of those sections are currently marked with city pylons or barricades. I have to warn my visitors of the danger in some of the sections the asphalt has dropped 18 inches. Item 7, none of the chosen sites have the noise problem from golfers yelling in the morning or 1,000 geese honking all night long so that you cannot sleep with a window open. The E. coli levels in the retention pond were measured at 23 times the level that would close a public beach, and the levels of the dump leachate leaking into the pond make it toxic for animals swimming in the pond. The retention pond is a cesspool. I have printed copies of that if you would like. It just, I would be lucky to get 350 grand for the place. If I told the entire truth in the background of this to any potential buyer. There's no bus routes, of course.
Okay, that's your evidence. We've heard
Yeah,
it. And
yeah.
now we're going to ask some questions. If that's
Sure.
okay?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Ms. Complete, if you have any questions of the applicant, you can go forward.
Just one question. You spoke about sewer and water and that it devalues your property by an amount. Just clarification on that.
It will cost $50,000, $300 lineal foot, plus about 20 grand for working, bring the sewer and water into the yard. So that is compared to house that already has sewer and water. That's a $50,000 bill. Is that a good enough answer?
That's fine. I have no further questions.
Well, we're still asking questions. Ms. Knight, if you have any questions of the applicant, ask them now.
So are you saying that you want the value to be 350,000? Is that the value you're requesting of the board?
I think that would be a reasonable, because of what's lately happened with the provincial regulation posting actual city costs, or what should be city costs, onto the landowner. Like I've been to the minister, and he says that because they have redone the act or the regulation, that I have to apply to the minister for a permit variance, as well as the city, in order to do any construction on the property that involves digging.
Okay, so just to confirm, you're asking the board for a $350,000 value, yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mrs. Linky, any questions?
No questions.
Yeah, I've got a couple questions. First of all, you indicated is sewer and water coming into the area? Right now, is there plans to bring sewer and water into the area right
No.
now? Okay, and you're on a
Not to my
septic.
knowledge.
Okay, you're on a septic field then.
I'm on a
at well,
septic field.
right? So in fact,
And if that field goes, I then have to put in a septic tank because the regulations have changed.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Right now, you're in a septic tank.
Yeah.
And our septic field, I mean, and if you sold the property, the owner would be able to use a septic field as long as it was still functioning properly, right? But they wouldn't be able to replace it if, in fact, okay. And if sewer and water were brought in, your property could be subdivided probably into 4 more units, so it would become more valuable, wouldn't it?
No, it's I think it's too close, too narrow, and in behind is the landfill site.
How much frontage on, I'm sorry? You have 100-foot frontage. And where's your house built on a 100-foot frontage? Where's your house built on a 100-foot frontage? Is there?
On the
Is it?
the west.
How much
side.
side yard have you got on each side?
I'm sorry.
How much side yard have you got on each side?
Let's see, maybe 30 feet on the right and 10 feet on the left.
Your house
Like that's how
occupied.
the-
Okay, your house occupies a lot. So I think that it's not subdividable then. Okay, I agree with that. You indicated that you thought 350,000 was a reasonable assessment. How do you arrive at that? You said, have you got comparable values from a realtor, or have you gotten an appraisal or anything else that shows where your number of $350,000 comes from?
My 350 would come from the average 400 here, minus 50 grand. And then there's, like, it would be unreasonable to add another, I don't know how much for concrete road going in when they did that and got rid of the ditches. But I'm lost on that.
You don't think that having a huge property is not have some value to somebody buying?
Only if it doesn't have a candy-coated cyanide pill behind it and enough toxic water to wash it down. I'm sorry. The area behind me looks beautiful, but underneath it is a real problem. I was at one time putting out, I think, the 4th largest amount of methane in Manitoba. It was increasing its output, but other companies have started issuing more methane gas. It's just, I'm without words here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it clears my questions, so you can leave that with us and we'll give you our decision. Thank you. Thank you. Is there
I'd like to
something-
do some,
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to,
Go ahead. Mr. Cleary, go ahead, give us summation and all, Mr. Duffy's fun as well, please.
okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just ask that you put weight on comparable 4, and the issues that were raised by the homeowner do not seem to affect the value. And comparable 4 supports the subject property, and I ask that the 2023 value be confirmed. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McDonald, if you have a final statement you wish to make, I'll allow you to do so. If not, you don't have to. We've heard your evidence. But
I'm sorry, but my short-term memory, I didn't understand what she just said.
she indicated that the position of the city is that comparable number 4 on your street shows that the environment is obviously not a big concern because that property sold for $324.38 a square foot, time adjusted, and yours is only being
But that property-
you're being actually assessed at $100 a square foot less.
Yeah, but that other property is also outside the setback from the dump. And it's not affected. They don't have to go to the minister to do any work on their property. Okay. And they're not affected by the road slumping.
Well, they drive on the same road that you do.
and the poor maintenance by the park. And that's all in the other stuff I've filed.
Okay, well, thank you for your brief. It's helpful, and we'll, as I said, we'll consider everything you put forward. Okay? We've got copies, right? Yeah, we've got copies. Well, we can't take, yeah, we can't take the activity, so we're restricted to what you've already filed. Okay? Okay, yeah, that's fine. So now what's our next?
So it would be item number 8, 417 Trent.
Hey. 417 Trent, then will be heard next. And we can swear in the applicant. We'll sit down, you'll be sworn in, sir. Silas Murdo Woodhouse.
You're going to give it, you're going to give it the serious truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. No. Thank you.
Mr. Levy, I understand that there is some evidence on this matter that it's been filed late. What is the assessor's position on that?
Well, if the evidence was filed late, then I would object to it.
Is there any evidence that was not been done here, other than the applicants, other than the application?
I haven't shared the evidence with you until you made a decision if you would admit it or not.
Okay, you know what? We're going to have to also consult my other panel members, so we'll do that. So everybody's going to have to leave the room for just a minute. We're going to discuss and then we'll make a decision on whether we'll allow you to present your evidence, which was not filed on time.
Well, I filed it right on Monday.
Yeah,
I emailed it on Monday. I emailed 2 emails stating all the pictures.
I did receive we did receive on Monday.
I don't think that should be an issue because everything electronically is instant.
And we heard that, and I should give it up. The meeting is back on, and we're ready to proceed with your application. Excellent. Can you remember as the applicant is sworn in?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we've determined that you did send your evidence in. It came on the date that it indicated. It was past the time that's usually stipulated, or usually required, but it didn't stay on the notice sent to you that you had to have a file by any particular time. So we're going to allow you to present your evidence. Okay? So Ms. Complevy, you can proceed with your brief when you're ready.
Oh, geez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is 417 Trent Avenue. It is in the neighborhood area of 407 Monroe West. It is a roll number of 0204-103-2000. It is a one-story single dwelling built in 1975. It is 1,208 square feet with a full basement finish, one full bath, one half bath. It has central air conditioning and a multiple detached garage. The assessed lot is 4,744 square feet. It has commercial, adjacent, and school as a land influence. The 2023 roll value is $310,000, which is $256.62 per square foot. During the 2023 residential review program, the value of the property was reduced from $331,000 to $310,000. And that was reduced speaking with the homeowner at that time and given the condition of the house. That's why it was reduced. Comparable 1 is 595 Bronx Avenue. Comparable 2 is 542 Melbourne Avenue. Comparable 3 is 592 Kimberly Avenue, and comparable 4 is 395 Bronx. All four comparables are in the same neighborhood area, 407 Monroe West. They are all single one-story dwellings with full basement and basement finish. The year built ranges from 1953 to 1956, and the effective age from 1963 to 1980. Comparable 1 and 3 have one full bath and a half bath and a shower. Comparable 2 and 4 have 2 full baths. All the comparables have central air conditioning, which is the same as the subject. Comparables 2 and 3 have a single detached garage. Comparables 1 and 4 have a multiple detached garage, which is the same as the subject. The assessed lot sizes of the comparables range from 4,199 square feet to 5,851 square feet. The sales prices range from $307,000 to $322,000. The time adjusted sales prices range from $324,500 to $341,100. The time adjusted sales price per square foot is $307.87 per square foot to $354.96 per square foot. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, if you have any questions of the assessor, you can ask them now.
Yeah, I have a question. How could you compare a house when you haven't even been inside of it? When we, as the homeowners, we see the defects of the home.
Okay, ask the question and see if it's answered.
Our sales range, they're comparable sales prices that occurred in the market from April 1st, 2018 to April 1st, 2021. It would be impossible for the city to go into each and every house, and we do it on a mass appraisal, a market value. So we try and get comparables that have garages, if it's got a multiple garage, same square footage, same age, and that's how we determine the assessments.
But you know what? Each and every home is different because
the question's been answered. You can, excuse me, excuse me, sir.
When I first bought the house,
excuse me, you asked your question, it was answered.
I know I heard it, but I want to make another.
Well, and you'll be an opportunity for arguing.
I'm not arguing, I'm just making my statement.
You have your opportunity to go present your evidence in a minute. Okay, go, ask that question.
Like when I moved into my home, this is how it looked exactly. I still have the, when I bought it in 2007, and there's hardly anything was done to my home till today.
Okay, you're asking questions, now you're getting.
Excuse me,
if you ask questions, that's evidence, and you can certainly present it. I'll give you that opportunity. But if you have a question, the assessor, if you already answered the first question, and you haven't asked the second one. If you have one, you can ask it.
I don't, the question is, my house shouldn't be appraised higher than what it is now because everything is still the same from.
Okay. Ms. Knight, any questions?
No questions at this time.
Ms. Blanky?
No questions.
This completely, I see that the property was originally assessed at 331 and there was a review done. That review didn't entail going into the house, obviously, because I can see by the applicant's position, the question he asked, it obviously wasn't viewed. So how did the assessment department arrive at a determination that should be lowered from 331 to 310?
It was during the residential review program, which we have available to homeowners to try and they're certainly welcome to phone the city and discuss their property in hopes of reaching an alternate value and not going to an appeal. I didn't speak with the homeowner personally, but according to the notes, there was an appointment arranged on February 15th, 2022, he felt the proposed assessment of 331 is too high for his neighborhood. He asked for 293. He said he hadn't updated it or made any significant changes. The assessor asked about the basement again, and he said it was finished. They overrode the value or changed the value to 310,000 to better reflect the condition of his home with the comparables.
I'm looking at your comparables and I see that the lowest per square foot value of the sales, time just the sales is $307.87 a square foot. And this house, now that it's been reduced to 310, is only $256.62. And I see that it's newer than all your comparables. It was built in 1975. The others were all built in the 1950s. So I'm just wondering what justified such a lower square foot value per.
Yeah, I know it is lower, and it's just, I guess he had a good argument for the condition of his house, so the condition was, or the value was reduced, because there are, well, one property that was a little newer.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, you can present your evidence now.
I sent you all the pictures.
Okay.
There's to begin with, my landscape in the front yard.
Sorry, I was looking at your first picture, which was a closet with a towel hanging on from it. Smith. Okay, no. Yeah, I don't see that photograph.
I did have to put the evidence into 3 different PDFs, so you might just need to check a different PDF. You might have to check a different PDF. I had to put, due to the file sizes, I had to put them in different.
I have the pictures right here in my front yard.
Hang on. Okay, I see. You know what I'm. Okay, talking about landscaping. I see.
Yeah, there's the landscape is not. It's hilly, and then there's a bunch of potholes in it. And the paint itself, you could see on one of the pictures there, the paint on the house is still original. And the front door is original. And as you go to the step, towards the step, that sidewalk is sloping and there's a slope. It's sloping to the right side. and there's a hole underneath. That's still from day one, ever since I bought the home. And there's parts of the house that the stucco is coming off. And inside the home, the cupboards the cabinetry is still original, but the doors are breaking off. Not because of neglect, but it's just old. And the house itself doesn't have the top part of the eaves troughs underneath. It doesn't have any of that. It seems like the house is not breathing because of that, on account of that. It's all wood. And right in my front, right in my front deck, right in front of my big window, there used to be a masonry flower bed. But this past spring, that when I thawed out, that masonry flower bed just fell apart, and you'll see those pictures on the. Yep. And the garage itself too is it still has original paint, and the shingles on the top are they're all curled up because of the color, I guess, black. It's still original. They're all curling up now, and now I have a leak in my garage. And the air condition too is original. I guess they used to call that the Cadillac air condition back in the day, but it still throws enough cool air to cool the house, but not as good as it should. Because it's the old R value, like the stuff they put in it. It's R22, I think, the older stuff. And the furnace is original furnace, and the hot water tank is original.
Your evidence, Mr. Winnipeg?
And my living room, or even the rooms, the way the rafters go in the home and how the drywall on the ceiling goes, you could see it start to, like as if it has, because of the weight. Because when I went up into my attic, going to see what was up there, and I lifted it up, and all you could see was sawdust underneath the insulation, and that's the reason why my living room ceiling looks like it's gonna fall down. It's pathetic. I don't know why they even put that sawdust in there. Whoever the previous homeowner, like you could see it going like this. If you were to go into my house, you would see it. And then even in my own master bedroom, right in the corner, you could see there's it's probably because of the insulation not seated properly or something, but there's like mold spores coming through the corner, and I have one picture in here that has it.
Okay, that's your evidence.
And behind me is an apartment block, and right in front of our street, there's always cars because that parking lot is full, and there's always cars where we never have no place to park our vehicles right in front of our house.
Thank you. We've got your evidence here. Any questions, Mr. Talbot?
Yes, two questions. Mr. Applicant, what value are you seeking?
Well, whatever's lower than what you're trying to give me.
Do you have any sales to support a lower value?
Well, actually, you know what? Realistically, if whatever you guys are gonna value my home at, it would never sell for that because of the condition of the home. And there's just no money to, you know, I can't afford to go and take money out of my mortgage and say, oh, okay, I'm gonna put this in my home. I can't afford that. It's hard to live because of these past 2 years. It's hard to live. Everybody can say that in this room. It's hard to live. You know,
We understand that.
they wouldn't, no one would be able to buy that house for whatever.
Hey, Mr. Woodhouse, the fact of the matter is, we have to go on assessments based on value and sales. And
I understand that, but you have to see the way the houses are, the conditions the houses are in. You can't
we
just,
saw your photographs, your evidence, and see the condition.
yeah, but you can't price it out of your own head. Like, you're not even actually going in there and seeing it firsthand.
Okay, so you can't give the assessor an amount that your house should be assessed at.
It should stay the same.
Same as what?
Whatever it was assessed last.
What amount was that?
It was 310.
Again, was last time?
Yeah, pretty sure it was.
Okay. Any other questions? Ms. Completed?
No.
Ms. Malecki, you have a question?
No. No questions.
Ms. Knight, do you have any questions?
Yes, so you're saying you want the value at 310 and that's the value we've offered you?
Well, that's what, you know, it was that price before, wasn't it?
I don't know what it was before. I'm asking you if the value you're asking from the board is 310,000.
Well, what was it last time you gave me?
We don't have that information, sir. We only have information that was presented at this time.
Yeah, well, it was lower than what you guys are trying to propose it to be.
So what value are you asking the board to decide on for you?
Oh man, I don't have that information. It's on my email. But whatever you guys gave me last time, you should just keep it where it is.
All right, thank you.
You have no questions, Steve. We'll consider, we've got your evidence and we'll go over it and get our decision. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, I'm just connecting the applicant right now. I'll just affirm them very quickly. Madam applicant, please state your full name.
Rena Sadowski.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. We're prepared to go forward then. So Ms. Capliti, when you're ready, you can present your brief.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is 627 Henderson Highway. It is a roll number of 0200109800. It is a one-story single dwelling in the 407 Monroe West neighborhood, a year built of 1929, an effective year built of 1974. It is 744 square feet with a full basement and basement finish. There are 2 full baths, central air conditioning, and a detached multiple garage. It has an assessed lot size of 5,283 square feet. It has the land influence of heavy traffic. It has a 2023 assessment roll of $280,000, which is $376.34 per square foot. There was a sale that occurred in October 2020 for $270,422. The time adjusted sales price to April 1st, 2021 would be $283,000. It was reviewed during the 2023 review program, and the value was reduced from $286,000 to $280,000, a little lower than the time adjusted sale price. There is a permit included that there was a fire in the house in 2018, and the house was rebuilt, or the interior was rebuilt, and the pictures are included there as well. So I ask, and comparables 1, 2 are 401 Chalmers, comparable 2 is 413 Rossmer, comparable 3 is 407 Monroe West, comparable 1 is 448 Monroe Avenue, comparable 2 is 277 Springfield Road, comparable 3 is 252 Chelsea Avenue, and comparable 4 is 416 Trent Avenue. All the comparables are one-story single dwellings. They're all built between 1949 to 1953. The comparables have an effective age of 1949 to 1975. All comparables have a full basement and basement finish. All comparables have one full bath. Comparable 1 and 3 have 1 half bath and a shower. All comparables have central air conditioning, same as the subject. Comparables 1 and 4 have a single detached garage. Comparable 2 and 3 have a multiple detached garage, same as the subject. The lot sizes of the comparables range 3,199 with a school land influence to 7,505 square feet with a bus route and medium traffic. The sales prices range from $260,000 to $295,100. The time adjusted sales prices range from $274,300 to $311,500. The time adjusted sales prices per square foot ranges from $351.58 to $415.03 per square foot. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Upton, if you have any questions to the assessor, you can ask them now. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I apologize.
Next question, we didn't hear it. So go ahead.
Sorry?
I indicated if you have a question, you can ask it. We didn't.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
We didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. So yeah, I'll ask it again. So just from my understanding, the year built, how do you determine the effective year built? Like how those two differ?
We have guidelines. We have a little bit of a computer program that we can punch things in. It's if the bathroom's renovated, the kitchen's renovated, if there's new flooring, new fixtures, etc.
Okay, so that doesn't take into account any of the bones of the house, essentially. So any of the foundation work or roof or anything like that, or?
Yes, that also can play on the effective age. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Is that your only question?
It is, yes.
Ms. Knight, do you have any questions to the assessor?
No, I do not.
Mr. Linky?
No questions.
I'm looking, Ms. Kaplicki, I'm looking at your comparable number 1. I see it comes in at a lower value per square foot than the subject property, and why would you attribute that?
Part of the reason could be that it is a little smaller lot size, or that it has a single detached garage, and the subject has a multiple detached garage.
Of course, the subject property is on a heavier traffic, even Henderson Highway.
Yes, and this one has medium traffic.
Okay, now the next question I have is, you have a sale, and you time adjusted it, and thank you for that. Was that when this applicant purchased the property?
Sorry, what, the time adjusted sales, this,
Yeah, you have a sale on October 28th, 2020,
right?
and was the property renovated already by the time that sale went through?
Yes, it was. It does show there with the pictures and the listing that it was renovated at the time of purchase.
Okay, so the property was, when it was, that sale went through, it was in basically the same condition as it is today then?
Yes, as far as we know, yes.
Okay, thank you, that's my questions. Okay, Ms. Applicant, you can go forward with your evidence now, and we'll go to it.
Okay, I do just have one question. There was some pictures that I forgot to submit with my initial submission for my evidence, and I did submit them, I believe, a day later. I just wanted to make sure that those were included, just so I could know, because they said that it was late and that it would be based upon your approval, I guess, for that submission.
Yes, ordinarily, if it was a day late, I guess the question I have is why did you submit the evidence late?
It was honestly just a mistake on my behalf. I forgot to include the attachments. There are, I think, 3 or 4 pictures. So I just forgot to put that in my email. And then I realized after the fact that they weren't included.
Because I can indicate to you that there's a reason why there is a time limit, and that is that so everybody has an opportunity of preparing. And you know, the next day, unfortunately, means that gives the assessor very little time to review everything. So that's why we have these limits. And the same goes for you too. You have to get your evidence on time as well, or else the city's precluded from producing it. So you still want to, are you saying that you want us to review those photographs you submitted a day late?
I understand the guidelines, and if you choose not to, I 100% respect that. But if you can make an exception, or it was just a silly mistake on my behalf, I would appreciate it. But of course, I understand if you won't.
Okay, you know, I'm going to ask the assessor for her position, and then we're going to have to again make a determination on this. So, this completely the city's position on that.
I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what's being referred to here.
So the applicant has indicated that she sent in some photographs a day late and would like us to include those as part of her evidence. And we have to determine whether we're prepared to hear that evidence or not. And certainly the city, no matter what you indicate, I think we still have to come to a decision. But I think your view on it.
Yes. Yes, that's right. I think the decision rests with you. I'm not sure, like I did get a picture of the basement. Is that what you're referring to? Okay, yeah, I got that picture. That's fine. Okay. And we weren't aware of it. So that was one of the questions I'm going to be asking you.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to ask that question. I think if it is only a photograph of the basement, I think we'd like to see it then. Okay, is that all there is?
Yes.
So you only have a photograph of the basement. That's the only evidence you have?
Yeah, I just sent in some pictures of the basement.
Okay.
No, and that's not the only evidence that I have. I have comparables and stuff in a spreadsheet.
Comparables is fine.
Okay, yeah.
But we're saying the only late evidence you provided were photographs of the basement, and the assessment department has indicated they're prepared to see those. Okay?
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Well, so I think I'm speaking for my panel members, but I know the assessment department's going to ask questions on it, and if they're prepared to allow it, so we'll make an exception in this instance.
Okay, thank you so very much. I appreciate that.
I've just shared it with you. I just have to share it with Diane, and then.
Okay.
Okay, I've got it now.
Were you able to find it?
I'm not sure where it is. It's not at the end.
So it's going to be a separate PDF file. You might need to refresh it.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got your evidence, so you can present it.
Okay, thank you so much. So first I just kind of to kind of explain everything. So where my house is obviously on Henderson Highway. It's a super busy, 6-lane traffic road. That heavily impacts, the value of the house because the house shakes at all hours of the day with all the traffic going by. And also it's kind of in a unique spot. Is kind of in the middle of Elmwood and then EK. So if you go further, east, north, you're going to be, more in EK, which is, the houses are valued higher over there. And then in Elmwood, of course, the further you go south, you're going to be closer to Elmwood, and the houses are of lower value there. So just kind of to talk about the assessor's comparables, first, the 277 Springfield Road, that's quite far away from my house, and I don't feel like that's offers a fair comparable to where my house is, because that's the only thing that might be comparable is the busy street and the bus route, but again that's a 2-lane street, where mine is 6 lanes, and the further again you go into East Kildonan, that's almost North Kildonan, I believe. The houses are just worth more due to the neighborhood just being nice. They're a little bit safer and that kind of thing. And so again, with the other comparables, so comparable 1 and comparable 4, those are very far down away from Henderson. So again, they're on the one on Monroe is a medium traffic house. And again, that's just 2 lanes of traffic. And then they both have school as land influences. And I mean, for some people that might be a negative when looking for a house, but you have some families and stuff who would see that as a positive. But no one who's going to be looking for a house is gonna see living on Henderson Highway as a positive. So I'm not too sure how comparable I would view these houses. And then again, Chelsea Street, that's a little bit further into East Kildonan, and that street I'm familiar with it, and it's very nicely treed. It's has large frontage, and it's just overall a nicer area. So I believe that's kind of why those houses are valued and sold for higher. So then kind of the comparables that I chose, I tried to stick as close to my house as possible, just because, again, I'm in a unique area, being kind of between Elmwood and EK. The further you go into Elmwood, the less the houses are going to be valued, and vice versa. So the first comparable is on Neil, so that's quite close to my house, just a block down on the first block there. It is larger, and again, sorry, all of the assessors comparables, I understand they were built, the effective year built is newer, but they were all built 20 to 25 years later than my house. So in terms of the bones of the house, I still have clay weeping tile in my foundation, just overall wear and tear and stuff like that. That does play a huge factor into it. The technology they have 20, 25 years later when they build houses is going to severely impact, the structure of it. So I picked all houses that were built in the same year because the technology, again, and the stuff that they used were going to be as comparable to my house as possible. They're all a little bit bigger than my house, with the exception of 255 Monroe, which is about 10 square feet smaller. But as you can see, all of the time adjusted sale prices are, hover around 250. So I would see that as, unfortunately, we bought the house in 2020 when the market was crazy, and we may have overpaid for that house because all of these homes, they're all comparable with detached garages, similar lot sizes. Most of them are even a little bit bigger. That's that. And then, of course, so the pictures that I had sent you are the basement in the current state. Unfortunately, with again, those clay weeping tiles and the technology that's in the house. or the structure of the house, I should say, sorry. This summer or this spring and summer, like many Manitobans, we got water in the basement. So it just couldn't keep up because it's so old and it just couldn't keep up. So we got water damage. We're going to have to, fix that, and that's going to be a huge cost. But in terms of the current state, all the carpet's been ripped out. It has to be replaced. There's some drywall that needs to be replaced, in the middle of demolishing that or so that's going to severely impact the value that, the value of the house at the moment. And unfortunately, it's a big cost and we're going to have to work at that slowly. So, the house it doesn't have, although it has technically when it sold, it had a full finished basement. At the moment, it does not. And it probably won't for a little while because, it doesn't have a sump pump. Again, those clay weeping tiles, and that's a huge expense to replace or to install. So then I submitted 3 houses again in the neighborhood. So there are 2 or 3 streets over from my house that don't have finished basements, and you can see that it severely impacts the value of the house without that basement. They're all built around the same time. One of them is a little bit older, but then one of them is a little bit newer. They all have similar features, so a detached garage. One of them doesn't have air conditioning, but they have a basement, but it's just not finished. So that's comparable to mine, and you can see that the value significantly drops. It ranges from 180 to 233. So I think for that reason, my house is, assessed quite high for the current state.
Thank you. So, Bolivia, any questions of the applicant?
Yes, I have a couple. Okay, I do see the pictures of the basement now. You, like a lot of people this year, have gotten water in your basement, so we weren't aware of that. Did you have insurance?
So it's not covered under insurance because it's, the seepage and that kind of thing. Okay. And the properties you list here, I'll just go to the 241 Sydney, the 266 Sydney, and the 265 Melbourne Avenue. Are you aware of the conditions of any of these properties? So unfortunately, I'm not. I went off of the information that I had available to me online. So the city assessment, that website, which was, I believe, in the instructions on where to go and what to submit for a year. But I don't have any further information, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you an effective year. So those 3 houses that were used or have no updates. They're pretty original. So would you agree that a house with more upgrades would sell for more money? It might, but I mean, my house specifically, we still have a cast iron tub. A lot of the upgrades weren't done recently. Like it's a little bit newer of a kitchen, but it's still, maybe early 2000s. We still have original baseboards, original doors, that sort of thing. So there is some cosmetic updates, but not, I wouldn't say, a ton. Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Ms. Knight, any questions of the applicant?
I do. So in your comparables, the ones that don't have a finished basement, do you know if they're mud basements or are they fully concreted basements the same as yours? Because a lot of the homes in that area are not finished basements. They're just a mud crawl space.
So unfortunately, again, I went off of the information that I had available to me on the website and it didn't list any of that. So no, I don't.
Okay, thank you.
Mike, any questions?
No questions.
Question, did you get any prices from contractors or anything else about what it would cost to make repairs to your basement?
So I haven't gotten any of the cosmetic, any estimates for the inside, because we're going to work on, fixing the water issue first. So, to dig out the whole house, replace the weeping tile, waterproof, and install some pump lines, we got a quote for $50,000 to $60,000. We're going to try to do some grading first, so that probably will be $2,000 to $5,000, and then we're going to see if that helps the issue before taking the more expensive route. So that's why the basement will also remain unfinished for the next little bit, because we're gonna wait until next year to see if we still get water before replacing it and then replacing it again.
Okay, and you're aware that you bought the house on a time adjusted basis, based on what you paid for it. The house would have been valued at $283,000 based on your purchase. The time adjusted.
I am aware of that now, yes.
And you indicate you might have overpaid. Were there multiple offers on the property?
There was. We were, I believe, offer number 6.
Okay. And did that influence you on what you offered for the house? What was it listed at?
Absolutely, yes. It was listed at 240, in the 240s, I believe 249.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I just ask one further question?
Go ahead.
What value are you asking for?
So in its current state, I believe, 230 would be fair.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll determine this and receive our decision now.
I'd like to do a summation, please.
By all means, go ahead.
Okay, I'd ask the board to put more weight on my comparables as the homeowner used inferior properties that were not renovated. So I ask that the 2023 value of $280,000 be confirmed. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have a summation to make, Ms. Applicant?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay, well, we got your evidence and we'll certainly consider it. Make it a decision.
Okay, thank you.
I see that number 2 on the agenda, that the applicant is back. So I think we should maybe hear him now and then, so he can go on his way. We'll go back to 821 Notre Dame. You can come forward. No. You're just bringing those for the first time right now?
Yeah, because I never got elected. I don't know how many times it's been, sir, because are you the chairman?
I am.
Okay, so you used to 3 members, now there's only 1 member.
No, there's 3 of us. One person on Zoom, and 2 of us are here today.
Okay, there are still 3, okay.
Yes.
That's fine, because I just had these pictures, but because I never got a letter, if there is an issue with the mayor, why I should be responsible? City should take some responsibility. I'm not talking in person, you or chairman or the board itself. I'm talking about the city policies. Because basically I've been dealing with city club, dealing with crime women, all this basically, I don't know what to say.
I guess the question I have is, you filed 2 applications.
Yes.
And you filed them at the same time, I'm assuming.
No, I only got a letter. I showed him a letter.
I said you filed both your applications at the same time.
No, I didn't expect that it will be booked at the same time, because only letter I got from 1959. Otherwise, it would be well prepared. I got these pictures, spent hours and hours to get those pictures, So I really don't know what I can say, because I went actually back and took those pictures, brought those pictures. I had some. So now basically, I guess if I understand it correctly, you're saying no, basically you are not going to entertain these pictures. What was the purpose of me going back?
Well, I thought you had evidence.
See, that is the evidence I have, because I can explain to you that place is a mess, because I spent thousands of dollars on that, and it took more than a year to get rid of those people through Manitoba Tennessee branch. And I know what I had to go through. I wrote them 15 letters. By hand, I gave them letters. The windows were broken 3 times, cost me already $4,000, it will cost me more than $15,000 to bring to this bit of better condition. That's how much the state that house is in right now.
Okay, you're always sworn in, obviously.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I guess I didn't understand the applicant. I thought that I shouldn't have allowed him to go home and sit it down if he's presenting evidence that hasn't been submitted before. And that was my mistake.
No, Mr. Chairman, let me just
Finish.
Okay, you finish. Then let me give me time, please.
Okay, they did come back with the evidence, and I should not have allowed you to go get it because it wasn't submitted, so we should make a decision at that point. And I was wrong there, okay? And based on being wrong there, I'm gonna have to get my board members to agree with me, but I think we have to hear that evidence and see it now because I did send you home to get it and you brought it back. And under that assumption, I think that I made a decision wrongfully probably, but I don't want to prejudice you. So on that basis, I think we have to let you present. Okay, even though it's late.
I had full intention to provide these pictures because if I would have got the letter, I would have actually provided
Yeah,
that
I
information.
understand. I should think of a different decision. We should have had a meeting outside. I guess I didn't understand exactly what's going on. I do now, and I see where I went wrong. That was my mistake. I do not want to prejudice you from a mistake I made. I'm sorry, Ms. Capliti, but I think that on the basis of voters, I'm not sure what they're going to do in any event, but I think we have to let this applicant present his evidence even though it's late. I'm making a statement, but if you want to tell me that your position is done wrong, it gives you an obligation to appeal as well. But it's a mistake that I made, and I didn't even get my board members to follow up with me on it. So I think maybe we better clear the room. We better have a discussion for a minute. Okay, so we're going to decide whether we'll hear your evidence. I've already indicated what my position is, but I have to hear what my board members say. Okay. We're now going to proceed with 601 Castle Avenue. We've stood down 815 Talbot Avenue because we're having some technical problems with them not being in the waiting room at this point. So we'll hopefully call it back at a later time. So this meeting, we're now dealing with 601 Castle Avenue. The applicant has been sworn in, and we can hear your presentation as soon as you're available to go ahead with it.
Okay, I just had Notre Dame there and Talbot. So now it's 601 Castle to confirm.
601 Castle to go ahead, correct.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is 601 Castle Avenue. It is a roll number of 1410001140. It is in the neighborhood area of 403 Talbot Gray. It is a bi-level single dwelling built in 2005. It has 1,122 square feet, a full basement with basement finish, 2 full baths, 1 half bath with 1 shower, and a multiple attached garage. The lot size is 6,947 square feet. It has a 2023 assessment roll value of $315,000, which is $280.75 per square foot. This property was reviewed during the 2023 RAP program, and the value was reduced from $362,000 to $315,000 to better reflect the comparables. Comparable 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all close to the subject property. They are in a different NCA, but all the same market region. Comparable 1 is 169 Gordon Avenue. Comparable 2 is 559 Windsor Avenue. Comparable 3 is 429 Sydney Avenue. And comparable 4 is 806 Prince Rupert Avenue. All of the comparables are bi-level single dwellings with a full basement and basement finish. They are all built between 2002 to 2009. The square footage of the comparable bi-levels are 903 square feet to 974 square feet. Comparable 2 has 2 full bathrooms. Comparable 1, 3, and 4 have 1 half bath and showers. Comparable 1 to 4 have central air conditioning. Comparable 1 has a detached single garage. Comparable 2 and 4 have detached multiple garages. The assessed lot sizes of the comparables range from 2,743 square feet to 3,505 square feet, with school land influence on comparable number 4. The sales prices range from $264,500 to $299,900. The time adjusted sales prices range from $295,200 to $334,700. That is a time adjusted sales price per square foot of $311.29 to $357.59. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions of the assessor? You can ask them now.
Yes.
Go ahead and ask the question.
Did you have any chance lately see my house and around the house?
No, I have not come to your house.
Then how you assessed my house $315,000 if you didn't see it?
Because your house is based on an assessment of market area of sales that occurred from April 1st, 2018 to 2021. And we try and get properties that are similar to yours by a buy level, the year built, garages, amenities that your house have. It would be impossible for the city to go out and view every individual house. So it's based on a mass appraisal.
I got some pictures how it looks like that garages in my area on back lane.
Yeah, you'll have an opportunity to present them.
And
you have questions.
Yeah, okay. Then if you didn't see it, my house and area, and you know that I paid already over $3,500 my property tax, then I don't understood where from is that new price, 315,000 is ridiculous for me.
And the evidence that was submitted here shows comparable properties, and that's how they determine what your house is likely worth on the date in question. So that's based on the evidence that the city has presented. You've got a copy of that.
Okay, no more questions to that lady.
Ms. Knight, any questions to the assessor?
I do not.
No questions? I'm just looking and I see that this is on a much larger lot than all your comparables. Does it have a front drive? Hello, Ms. Cleveland?
Oh, hi there. Sorry, I don't know if it has a front drive. I can look it up on the map here in a minute, or you can ask the appellant here.
I can ask him later. I see it has a multi-attached garage, which, I guess would lead to that possibility at least.
Yeah, I agree with you, either a front drive or a back drive with the attached garage. It looks like it's a back lane access. It's got access through that.
Okay. And this property is larger than all the comparables, but they are all full basement bi-levels built around the same time. So, okay, thank you. That answered my question. Okay, go ahead, Terrence.
And actually, my basement is not anymore usable because after one of my neighbor drug probably dealer because they house in fire, and my basement was flooded by fire department. Okay, when they do that, and even I change carpet in my basement, but still growing mold, in that basement. And actually, that basement was finished, carpet and just one wall, because I just built in basement just laundry room and mechanical room. That's it. And now in front of me is another renovation for my house because shingles, I have to change it. I have to change the living room window because it's all the time vaporize inside, and then winter time is like a freeze, and I have to lots of ceiling in my living room because it's train going very close, and the ceiling is all cracked. I have to fix it that, and it's also impossible what happened because my wife is disabled after hip replacement. In front of her, another 2 operation. I don't have access in front of my house to go to my house because all the time close is apartment, and everybody from apartment parking cars steady in front of my house. I contact police and everything, they said, oh, that public road, and they can, but I paid over $3,500 property tax already, and I should have access to my house in front. Even my son can visit me, or my daughter with my grandchildren, because they don't have a space for parking. If I want to take my wife to inside the house, then I have to park almost kilometer away and walk to my house, because especially winter time, like my son sent pictures how it looks like winter, and city clean up snow over there. That was that high snow to access to my garage.
I think everybody had a situation. Some snow this winter, but there's no.
Yeah, that's I got some pictures how it looks like garages around my area.
Look at those pictures because they would what you have indicated and given us a picture with your information.
You want to see it?
No.
Okay. And that assessed 315,000. Last one was 275,000. That is 40,000 more, and that is over 15% increase my assess value, and that's too much, And for me, like I estimated how much cost me to upgrade my house now, because changed shingles, windows, and etc. That I ask contractors is like over $20,000, And salesman lately told me that if that situation with shingles, with window and ceiling in living room, all area, dining room, then he said that will be like $260,000 to $280,000 my house now. Then my proposal is like 290, 295 value for my house now, not 315,000. Because before, 2019, before I go for appeal, that was also estimated. My house new assess was also even higher, $320,000. But they agree for 275. Then
We hear you. So, any questions, Ms.
Mr. Applicant, do you have any sales to support a value that you're looking for?
Yeah, officially I didn't want to sell it my house, but I asked one person who's professionally selling houses, and he said because that situation with shingles, with window, because he saw that, and because that smell, deadly smell from a mushroom factory, that your house will be never, more than 280,000. Because if you visited that area, then you got chance to tested that smell.
Any other questions, Mr. Cleveland?
No, no.
Was there any questions?
I just do have one question. You mentioned something about water from the fire department. Was that why it was reduced from 362 to 315? Did that happen in that time frame, or was that after that time frame?
Because they want to save my house, and they put all water on my house. That was winter time, anytime, but because sub pump doesn't work at that time. And
So when did that happen?
was all flooded. That was like almost 10 inches water in my basement.
No, but when did that happen?
2019, I believe so.
So the part where it was reduced from 362 to 315, that's included in there then? Already, is that correct?
Not really.
Okay, maybe I need to ask the assessor that question.
Hi, according to the notes, there's something here. It happened in 2017. So that was the previous assessment cycle.
Okay, thank you.
Spanky, any questions?
Was there insurance that was compensating you for the damage with the water?
Yeah, insurance covered my carpet because I do it myself, because I didn't have any, chance, and I put new carpet in my basement. I changed some, cut some drywall and changed some isolation, and the insurance paid that, but still, start growing because that all 2x4s and everything are wet, right? And concrete, then start molding, then we cannot study in the basement, because that smell is like,
It's not usable at this point.
and also that is crime area, like, because I was,
You give your evidence over, just answer the question. We're not going to
Okay.
right now.
but I wanna tell you that area is very crime one, and the drug
So you're
and
censoring the questions that are asked now. It's all given your-
So it
yeah,
is-
they compensate, they pay it for
but you're still
material.
not able to use it
They
because
pay it for material, which I buy it. I give them receipt, but they didn't compensate for my work. That's it.
okay, thank you.
And I want to add it that about crime area.
You know what, we heard about that already, but everybody in the city, doesn't affect us value. Okay, so I have no questions to ask. Ms. Kaplivi, are you going to do a summation on this one?
I ask that the value be maintained as the comparables support the 2023 value of the subject. Thanks.
Thank you. Do you have anything to add? Not crime, but do you have a summation to make and all the evidence has been given?
Yeah, that's if I want to tell you that it's very crime area. That was shooting. I put in my basement window now bars, because my house was robbed twice, and my car was also. And
Thank you. We'll make our decision later. Thanks for your.
that's that information. We'll send it to my heart.
Yes,
Okay, thank you very much.
thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, you should be able to see it in your, it will be labeled as item 2, file number, and then applicant brief. So it should be in there as item 2.
Well, brief late. Top?
So,
Oh, sorry.
applicant brief. One up.
Thank you. Okay, we're going back to your property now, so. Oh.
Thanks.
Tara, did you receive my email with the applicant brief?
I'm just opening it now.
Okay, perfect. And Diane, were you able to?
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
So back to 1821 Notre Dame Avenue. Come forward.
Thank you.
And you've already been sworn in on your previous one, so you're still sworn in, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Ms. Kapleti, when you're ready.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is 1821 Notre Dame Avenue. It is a roll number of 0709031600. It is in the neighborhood area of 124 Brooklands. It is a one-story single dwelling built in 1950. It has 960 square feet with a basement and no basement finish. There is one full bath, one half bath, one shower, and a single attached garage. The assessed lot size is 5,975 square feet. It has a land influence of bus route, commercial adjacent, and heavy traffic. It has a 2023 assessment roll value of $172,000, which is $179.17 per square foot. Comparables 1 through 4 are in close neighborhood areas, 306 St. John and 114 Weston. Comparable 1 is 334 Inkster. Comparable 2 is 503 Inkster Boulevard. Comparable 3 is 1316 Logan Avenue. And comparable 4 is 317 Inkster Boulevard. All the comparables are one-story single dwellings built between 1905 to 1940 and have an effective age between 1922 to 1950. The living areas of the comparables range from 872 square feet to 993 square feet. All comparables have full basement with basement finish. All comparables have one full bath. Comparable 1 and 3 have a half bath and shower. Comparable 1 has air conditioning, and comparable 2 has a fireplace. The comparables lot sizes range from 3,301 square feet to 5,006 square feet. All comparables have a land influence. Comparable 1, 2, 3, and 4 have heavy traffic. As well, comparable 3 has the addition of bus route, bus stop, and commercial adjacent. The sales prices of the comparables range from $163,000 to $269,000. The time adjusted sales prices are $174,100 to $269,000, which per square foot is $199.66 to $270.90 per square foot. Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Do you have any questions of the assessor?
Yeah, I just wondering, did you ever get a chance or somebody looked at that, or you are checking this through the GPS?
Pardon me, something about GPS?
I think the question is
Is a question I'm asking, did someone take a look at that, or just basically basing on, you mentioned something about Inkster. That is far away. The Inkster is, in my opinion, I don't think you can compare Inkster and Notre Dame.
I used Inkster properties because I wanted to reflect the heavy traffic. I felt that land influence was very crucial to effect that.
No, but the environment itself is totally different. I think we all know.
I think you made that point, and I think we all recognize what Inkster is.
Yeah, thank you. The other thing is now, basically, I think, Mr. Chairman, you got the pictures.
Well, you're going to give your evidence after you're asking questions.
Basically, all I'm saying, I guess, whenever the assessment was done, I'm actually have a question for the assessor. Now, we all know that, although I'm not a real estate person, the question for the assessor is average house price now. The average house is 50,000 less than it used to be, say maybe 6 months ago. We all know that. and I really don't know when the assessment is done on this particular property or any property by the city.
Okay, I can ask that question for you. The value is set at April 1st, 2021.
Yeah.
So it's what your property would have sold for then. We're not looking at today's values, we're looking at values then. Everybody in the city is assessed on that date. Okay?
No, I am not disagreeing with you, but you're saying, all I'm saying to you.
I'm saying to you, it doesn't matter. If prices have gone down, next assessment will reflect that.
But this is 2023 is the next assessment, is it
It's
not?
based on 2021.
I don't know what to say about that, but anyway, all I'm saying, I mentioned this house so that the assessor, I'm actually letting you know that the property itself, I already actually spent about 4,000. The total cost is going to be minimum maybe 15 to 20,000 because you can see, I think I provided the pictures.
Okay, we'll look at your pictures after. Now you're asking questions.
Okay, that's the question I had. The actual, I guess, condition of the house at present and even before that, because I think in my opinion, this does not reflect the real picture
Okay,
of the house.
we're not asking questions. Okay, got any other questions to ask?
No, that's the question
Okay.
I'm asking because I think nobody actually looked at the house, in my opinion, even 2020.
And
or
that's it
20
that you have to give. The assessor can't answer that question because she only knows, you know better. She hasn't seen the house. She's already indicated that.
No, I think she didn't see the house. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't have any further question. I'm just
Okay.
telling you. That's how much.
Any questions to the assessor?
No,
Ms.
no.
Knight, do you have any questions to the assessor?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I do not.
Ms. Malinky?
No questions from the assessor.
So I guess my question is that I do know, I think that the applicant in his question has made a point that I know you used 3 properties in each because of heavy traffic, but it is a different area quite far away. Would you agree that your best comparable is probably comparable number 3 on Logan? Because of area.
Because of area, well, I felt that Inkster and Notre Dame and Logan were all kind of the same type of street with traffic influence. What comparable would I think is the best? Probably comparable 1 on Inkster Boulevard. Because it's the age is close, very close, the square footage is close. But it does have a multiple garage and basement finish. They all have basement finish.
Yeah, I think the closest to the area though is the comparable number 3 on Logan Avenue. And it has similar traffic influences as Logan.
Yeah, they are all in the same market region though, so that's what is important.
Okay.
But the question I have for
So
you.
you've already asked your
assessor-
questions. You give your evidence now.
Okay, no, that's good, fair enough, but I'm saying, the question I'm asking, whatever you were saying is correct, but at the same time, when nobody looked at the
And
house.
you're giving give your evidence now, so you're doing that, okay?
Okay, all right.
Go ahead.
No, all I'm saying to you though, my evidence is I gave you the picture, because I spent a lot of money, and then I think I mentioned to you how many letters I provided them. That's my evidence, because I didn't bring those letters, because I didn't realize that this is also on the docket today. And then I guess I have to go to the Manitoba, Tennessee branch, and then same way, so that we all know here, I want to make this point, maybe it's not relevant, $1,800 was added to my property taxes, which I didn't use that service. Service was used by the tenant. So basically, I'm dealing with the city. That's a separate issue with the city clerk and all those people, and also the office in St. Boniface. They don't seem to do anything. They don't want to take any responsibility. All I'm saying, it's not anybody's fault. It's a city policy, because which is done by the city council as a whole. That is unfortunate thing. Basically, the landlord has to actually incur that cost when the service he or she didn't use. That's that is basically that but charged to my property taxes, almost $1,800. And again, I think in my opinion, it's a way over what the price, what the taxes should be for that property. Because I was quite surprised when I actually looked at that when I bought the property last year, and I could not believe, and nobody could believe when I showed them the property tax the city is charging. So anyway, so that's, but I can actually explain, I guess, as I mentioned, shingles have to be changed, all the other stuff, windows been actually broken 3-4 times. I got to board and stuff. I'm trying to get the renovation done. It's going to cost me $15,000 to $20,000 to get this thing, I guess, to better condition, you know, at least livable condition, I would say.
Any questions, Ms.
I have no questions.
Mr. Belinkie, do you have any questions?
So this is a rental,
Excuse me.
this is a rental property you have,
Yes, yes.
and the sale of 119,000, which is what you paid for this residence. That was,
How much? Excuse me.
That's 2015.
How much is that? Could you repeat it for me, please?
you know what, sorry. Okay, no, I retract what I was going, I just wanted to know about the sale. Okay, that's good, I have it.
The other question, can I ask one question to the assessor?
No, you're finished asking questions. Right now, we're asking you questions.
Or can I ask you guys question then? Because all I'm saying, like with per square foot, the assessed value, say for example, if the actual area is less than the whatever is indicated by the city here, will that be adjusted or do you have to go to municipal board?
Well, basically, you have to bring evidence that shows comparable sales in the area to show that the city's information is incorrect, and or else that you have things about your property that would convince us that it's overassessed. And,
Yeah.
and you brought photographs of the things that we said.
Mr. Chairman, I actually agree with you. I respect that. But I can give you, I don't know how many examples I can give you where city had in the past made mistakes. It's not only for this particular
That's why
concern.
our board exists, because there are sometimes incorrect assessments. And we're here to try to relieve that. And that's what we're doing right now. Okay? So we're aware that assessments may be incorrect, and that's why our board exists. Okay?
Yeah. No, I understand. It's not your fault.
I'm not taking the fault. I'm just telling you why we're here. And that's what this is all about.
No, one thing I'm sorry about that part to say, but I know how it's supposed to work. Trust me, because I sat on the board for 10 years before, okay? But I'm saying to you, the question I have, that now say, for example, they assess the property based on the area of the property. And if, say, for example, I mean, I should have provided that up. I agree with you, what you're saying. But of course, for this particular address, it's beyond me because why I didn't get the letter. But anyway, it's over. But I certainly hope that.
Okay, you're being asked questions now, and we have to keep on going, okay?
Yeah.
Ms. Knight, do you have any questions of the applicant?
Yeah, I have two questions. So the first question is, you say you bought this property last year. When did you buy it and what did you purchase it for?
I think I took it for June the 1st, if I'm not wrong. Let me see. I think I took it June the 1st, if I'm not wrong. June the 1st last year.
And what did you purchase it at?
162 or something, 162, 3. I can't remember.
162 on June 1st, 2021.
Say it again, sorry.
June 1st, 2021, you paid 162,000, correct?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
my second question is, did your lawyer provide you with any surveyor's documents to prove that the size of the property was incorrect at that time on the assessed value?
No, they didn't.
Okay, thank you. And what value are you looking for today?
I think, in my opinion, it should not be more than 60 because the way especially I have to pay $20,000 to fix it.
Pardon me, 60,000?
160.
160. Okay, thank you very much.
That should be the maximum in my opinion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and you see you paid it. Is that your evidence? You paid 162,000 or something like that?
Excuse me, sir?
You said you paid 162,000
Yeah.
or something like that.
No, yeah, when I say something like that, I can give you the exact figure in cents and all that. But I'm saying to you that.
You asked the right question. I think value is important. So something like that. I wonder how close an approximation that is to what you say you paid.
Well, I can give you the information. I don't have it with me because basically sometimes something happened a year ago and I paid through the lawyer. I can provide that information, but now I can't give you the exact information. But I told you how much I paid. That's it was paid to the lawyer.
Okay, and what have you done for the property since you purchased it?
Sorry about that, and sorry about this. But basically, would you mind to repeat it for me?
Yeah, what renovations did you get to the properties?
No, nothing. No renovation. I did some work. It was about $4,000. The guy didn't do much, but he charged me $4,000 interior stuff, right? Interior, just trying to do the windows. Nothing was done. It's right now. It will cost me at least $15,000 to $20,000 to change windows. Windows were actually broken 3 times. Then I have to board some of the windows.
That might be why the price is what it was. You see, you paid. I'm sure the condition could have been wonderful if, in fact, that's what you paid.
No, because I guess basically I'm intention to finish it because right now I think I should also mention it is very difficult because of COVID-19. What happened to get contractors? I've been waiting for things for almost a year and a half.
Is the house livable?
Yeah, the house is not up to the way I see it. But I'm still actually asking people to do the work when they actually, if they want to go in there, that one guy is doing the work there. He is there.
Is anybody living there?
Pardon me?
Is anybody living there right now?
No, but there is a person, he said he will do the work at the same time, but he's just staying there. Yeah.
He's paying you rent?
Yeah, he's paying me rent.
How much rent is he paying you?
But rent.
How much rent is he paying you?
Pardon me?
How much rent is he paying you?
$600.
$600 a month?
Yeah.
And who's paying the utilities?
Utilities?
Yeah, utilities.
No, still he doesn't want to pay the utility. I told him, I said, if you don't want to pay, because I've been asking him to sign a lease, but it's not easy for these guys. I've written the lease, I've given him the lease, but I can't do it. I just don't want to pay the bill, he says, utility. That's why I guess the landlord ends up with the city bill, which is very, very, I think, unfair in my opinion, of course. And this is city's policy. Hopefully one day will change soon. So all I'm saying to you, though, this is a problem. So it's 600, nothing when you would pay for hydro and water.
Okay, let's keep the point. So he's paying you $600 a month. And he's also doing renovations in the property for you?
He is doing that, but
he's not charging for those renovations?
Well, whenever he does something, he will tell me.
Just ask the question.
No, I'm just telling you that.
I know, I'm asking questions. Say,
excuse me, sir.
Either he's paying for them or he's not. You see, either you're paying him for them or you're not.
I will only pay for him when he showed me that he did something. He didn't do anything. Am I clear, sir?
I'd like to know what you're reaching this with this guy. I want to know what this property is worth. I want to know, you're telling me that it's livable, somebody's living there. I'm sort of nebulous about what's going on there, and I want to know what's going on there so I can make a determination on what your property should be assessed at. And you're going in circles. You don't answer.
No, I don't want.
You don't ask the questions. You go around and around. I'm trying to get to a point here, and you're not making it easy for me.
No, I want to make it easy for you.
So just answer the question.
How do you think I'm going in circles? Let me ask you that question. Please.
You don't ask me anything. I'm asking you questions.
Well, why? I have a right to ask you. Even you are chairman.
You don't have the right to ask me questions. I'm asking you questions right now.
Okay, ask me then. I'm not going in circles. I explained to you.
Just answer. So he's paying you $60 a month. Renovation is he's supposed to make renovations for you. Are those renovations included as part of the rent that he's paying?
No, because basically it's not included in the rent. What basically will happen once he shows me he didn't do anything, even there for almost a month. He didn't do anything. He told me, bring me this material, that I gave him that material, didn't do anything. How I'm supposed to
What's
pay?
he supposed to do?
Pardon me?
What's he supposed to do?
But then I told him I
What
will
is he
find.
supposed to do? Tell me what he's supposed to do there.
He was supposed to do the windows, flooring, and I told him I will get him the material. And then I got him the flexi glass to do the window more than almost a month ago. He didn't do it. He said he doesn't have a time. So what I'm supposed to do? That's exactly what he said.
Okay, thank you, that's my question.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we've got this before us, we'll consider it and you'll get a decision.
Yeah, okay. No, I appreciate that part. Okay, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Item 11?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. To see something, excuse me, my
So
drop.
we're trying to get 15 Talbot Avenue.
Okay, sorry. What property is next?
We're trying to see if the applicant for 1815 Talbot Avenue is back in the waiting room.
Okay,
Looks like.
okay,
that's-
thank you.
okay. Hi, Daryl, when you're ready, we will affirm you in.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Please state your full name.
Daryl Benoit?
You affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're now on 815 Talbot Avenue. Ms. Clevey, when you're ready, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is 815 Talbot Avenue. It is a roll number of 140920500000. It is located in the 405 East Elmwood neighborhood area. It is a one-story single dwelling built in 1949. It has 728 square feet, a full basement with partial basement finish. There is one full bath. The assessed lot size is 3,708 square feet. The land influences include bus route and medium traffic. It has an assessment roll value of $190,000, which is $260.99 per square feet. In 2023, the value was reviewed and reduced from $212,000 to $190,000. Comparable 1 through 4 is located in 405 East Elmwood area. Sorry, that's comparable 1 through 3. And comparable 4, 623 Talbot Avenue is located in 403 Talbot Gray. Comparable 1 is 797 Talbot. Comparable 2 is 979 Talbot. And comparable 3 is 711 Talbot Avenue. All comparables are one-story single dwellings. They are built between 1912 to 1954. The comparables have an effective age of 1949 to 1955. The living area of the comparables range from 664 square feet to 755 square feet. Comparables 1, 2, and 4 have full basements, and comparables 1 and 4 have basement finish. Comparable 3 has a full park area, and comparable 2 and 3 have no basement finish. All the comparables have one full bath. Comparable 4 has central air conditioning. Comparables 1 through 4 have a single detached garage. The lot sizes of the comparables range from 2,499 square feet to 5,488 square feet. The land influences are bus route, and medium traffic. Comparable 1 has an additional bus stop, and comparable 3 has commercial adjacent. The sales prices range from $167,000 to $222,000. The time adjusted sales prices range from $186,200 to $240,400, which is a time adjusted sales price per square foot. of $250.99 to $323.55. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, if you have any questions of the assessor, you can ask them now.
The assessment notice I received for this property was for $190,000. She mentioned that.
Well, you're asking questions right now. If you want to get
My question is that the assessor stated that she reviewed and reduced the assessment from $212,000 to $190,000. But my assessment notice that I appealed is for $190,000. So I don't know. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. Right now you're assessed at $190,000. She just indicated that before you did the review, it had been originally assessed at $212,000, but you're assessed right now at $190,000.
But I haven't enjoyed any kind of a reduction from $212,000 to $190,000. You guys sent it out to me at $190,000. And I'm in disagreement with $190,000. So I'm expecting a reduction from $190,000.
We'll see your evidence. We'll see your evidence. And we agree with it. We'll reduce you more. We have to see your evidence first.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Okay.
That's my question.
That's your only question?
Yep.
Ms. Malinky, any question of the assessor?
No questions.
Ms. Knight, any questions of the assessor?
No questions at this time.
And I don't either. So now, you can go ahead with your application, Mr. Applicant. You can give us your
Yeah, no problem. So it's 11:42 now. Just for clarification of what went on back there, I've been in my office since 8:20 this morning. I have you asked me to watch on YouTube, and I've been watching all morning on YouTube. So you guys went into a recess, and then you called me during a recess, which I wasn't able to see. And I have two systems here. I have YouTube on my desktop, and I have my cell phone on a tripod doing the hearing. So the Zoom meeting on my cell phone on the tripod timed out. So I was watching you on YouTube.
And that's fine. You know, we're hearing you now. Okay. For whatever reason, you were lost for a minute. So but we're hearing you now. So
yeah, I wasn't being disrespectful in leaving the meeting. I was hearing the whole.
I always suggest that you were.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have my brief. You do. Just give me 1 sec quickly here to get my bearings. On page 2, I have a summary of my points that I've owned it for 25 years as a rental. That's where the whole rub of the matter is condition. And condition can't be captured unless somebody goes out and has a look at it. So that's where we're going to have a divergence here. You do mention in the notice of hearing about the normal wear and tear issues are not at issue, so to speak. But my position is that a buyer looking at the property today, not only do they look at, they stand there and look at shingles, windows, worn, outdated, but they'll also consider the points that I bring out on page 2, and that is, it will stare them in the face that the house has I think the house was built in 1944 or 49. So it has an original gas boiler on a central heating system with no air conditioning. The other points stand. So you request that people put together comparables, and that is what I've done. It's self-explanatory, but I would draw your attention to what I think is the page 4 and page 5 and the page 6 comps. So those are my adjusted prices per square foot. So I think my assessment should be $233 per square foot on the footprint of the building, which gets you a value of $170,000. Just briefly back to the way there has to be a point where all of the items of deferredness, such as that are pointed on page 2, but also the busy thoroughfare, all of these there has to come a point where adjustments are made to comparables to bring them down to the condition of the subject. So that's what I would just ask the board to do, and appreciate your time.
Okay, Ms. Capriti, any questions of the applicant?
I just have one question. You mentioned the 623 Talbot Avenue, which is also used as my comparable there, number 4. You show a price of $280 or $283 per square foot. That was reflected at the sale of November 2020 and was not time adjusted to April 1st, 2021. Is that correct?
Which page is that on? Which is that, my comp?
Your page 4, 623 Talbot.
Yeah, it was time adjusted. So I got an adjusted rate on that sale of $233 a square foot. So I time adjusted it 6.5 months at 7%. So I brought it up to 204,000. And then I took off for the fact that it has a garage. I took off for electrical. I took off for a newer roof. I took off for air conditioning, sump, and general condition.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was 623 Talbot, comparable 4. The sales price was 204,000. The time adjusted was 211,300. Is that what shows on my brief?
Just one sec. That doesn't show on what I submitted.
I just asked if that, does that show on my brief though?
It shows the price per square foot of $283 per square foot. That's the selling price divided by the square footage. And so that's an unadjusted price per square foot. And I just told you what I did adjust it to $233 per square foot. And you don't have that. I just showed you the summary. Yeah.
I have no question. I have no further questions.
Yeah.
Is there any questions? Dan, do you have any questions?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were asking the other gentleman. No, I do not.
Mr. Lincoln, do you have any questions?
No questions.
And I don't either. So thank you. We'll leave that with us. We'll render a decision.
Thank you.
Yes. 13, 406 Talbot Avenue.
The applicant. Good morning, Madam Applicant. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear just fine. So I'm going to affirm you very quickly. So please state your full name.
Shelley Woods.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Ms. Katie, when you're ready, you can proceed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is 406 Talbot Avenue, a roll number of 1409170600. It is in the neighborhood area, 401 Chalmers. It is a one-story single dwelling built in 1948. It is 1,088 square feet. It has a full basement with basement finish, 1 full bath, 1 half bath. It contains central air conditioning and has a detached multiple garage. The assessed lot size is 7,274 square feet. The land influences are bus route and medium traffic. It has a 2023 assessment roll of $277,000 and an assessment per square foot of $254.60. It was reviewed during the RAP program. There was an appointment with the appellant, and the value was maintained as we felt that the comparables did support the subject property. Comparable 1 is 1021 Talbot Avenue. Comparable 2 is 1009 Talbot Avenue. Comparable 3 is 523 Bowman Avenue, and comparable 4 is 545 Neil Avenue. The comparables are within close proximity and are all the same market region. All the comparables are one-story single dwellings built between 1950 and 1955. They have an effective year built of 1955 to 1970. The living areas range from 833 square feet to 1,071 square feet with full basements and basement finish. All comparables have one full bath. Comparable 1 and 3 have a half bath, which is same as the subject. Comparable 2 has a half bath and shower. Comparable 1 and 2 have central air, the same as the subject. Comparable 2 has a detached single garage. Comparables 1, 3, and 4 have a detached multiple garage. The lot sizes of the comparables range from 4,199 square feet to 7,746 square feet. Comparables 1 and 2 have land influences of bus route and medium traffic. Comparable 3 has a land influence of medium traffic and commercial. The sales prices of the comparables range from $225,000 to $277,000. This is a time-adjusted sales price of $250,900 to $292,600, which is a time-adjusted sales price per square foot of $244.54 to $335.06. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Woods, if you have any questions of the assessor, you can ask them now.
Okay, I just want to make sure that everybody's in receipt of the package that I sent with the pictures and the comparables that I pulled and the kind of brief outline.
We haven't looked at it yet, but it's on our.
You have it on record. Okay, so thank you.
We'll be looking at it as you go through it.
Okay, thank you. So my question for the assessor is when I originally phoned and asked for a review, the assessor that I spoke with saw that there was an override because my property is defaulted to a 25% increase when there's a new property assessment, because I've been to the Board of Revisions before as well, and I end up having to kind of appeal every year. So the standard kind of increase, and I've even have sales data based on my area. I'll get to that in a second. So kind of my question to the assessor is, why was the override not considered? And just that mine still defaults to the 25% versus, something reasonable within my area.
I'm not sure what you're referring to as a 25% override. When you did appeal your property last time, it was based on a different reference date and a different sales data. So each reassessment, new sales data is looked at. Okay, thank you. So then also when I asked for actual comparable properties, so I understand that 1021 Talbot and 1009 Talbot have been used as comparables. Those I could not see listed in the 2019 to 2021 sales data as published by the City of Winnipeg. So I don't think I had access to that information. Also, the Bowman address and the Neil address, those are both very residential. The section of Talbot that I live in is 2 lanes of traffic.
You're asking questions right now.
Sorry?
You'll be able to give your evidence after. You're asking.
Okay.
No.
So yeah, I guess that's my question is within the boundaries of Chalmers, how come comparables weren't provided that were within that close proximity? I've listened to the other comments too, so I understand where the assessor's coming from. But the area is kind of really quite relevant, especially in the Chalmers neighborhood.
Is there, you said, I'm not sure if there's a question there, but I used Talbot Avenue, which is directly on your street, and I felt the land influences, the bus route and the medium traffic were important to capture.
Okay, so how about Bowman and Neil?
They're similar age, similar size, similar amenities.
But the location is different.
Yes, they're within the same market region.
Okay.
Okay, is that your questions?
And I just have one more question about the influence of the commercial property that's, I sent the pictures of before 401 Talbot was built and after. So has the influence of that commercial property been taken into account when with the assessment?
We do have the influences there. So that's what's taken into account.
So you did consider that. Thank you.
Yeah, and sorry, I'll just clarify, comparable 4, I guess, has a similar, it's very similar in lot size to yours, because I know yours is a larger lot.
Okay, and so how would I have been able to access the sales data for 1021 Talbot and 1009 Talbot?
I'm not sure. They were open market sales, so I'm not sure why if they were on another page or something, I don't have the answer.
Yeah, because I took some screenshots and they weren't listed in the City of Winnipeg sales data. So I just wondered how come I can't access the same data that you can access in this regard for comparables?
You should be able to, so I don't know.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Is that your
So
questions?
I think those are my questions. Thank you.
Ms. Blanky, do you have any questions of the assessor?
No questions of the assessor.
Ms. Knight, do you have any questions?
I do not.
Okay. I do have one question. I know that the applicant asked you about the commercial influence, and we haven't seen it yet. I'm assuming it's probably there. I'm looking at, it says there's a bus route, a medium traffic influence, I don't see commercial. Would you still be satisfied that that influence is reflecting the assessment?
I'm not sure if all the area or what. We do have the land influences of bus route and medium traffic. That's all I can speak to.
If there is a commercial assessment, and I haven't seen the evidence yet, but just based on the question, would that affect the assessment further?
It may and it may not. Some do, some don't. I don't know on this specific property.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you can go ahead now with your evidence, Ms. Moon.
Okay, so thank you for that. So taking into consideration the 2 addresses on Talbot, so I had also requested that comparables be relevant. So those in that section of Talbot, it's down to 1 lane each way, and there's like public boulevards there as well. Whereas on my section of Talbot, it's 2 lanes each way, and then the bus route as well. So it is heavier traffic because there's 4 lanes of traffic versus 2. And I don't have a boulevard. It's the same as with the Bowman and the Neil. Those aren't bus routes, and they have big public boulevards that really make it a residential area versus more of a commercial area of the section of Talbot that I'm on. So it really, I think, in my opinion, and listening to the other people with their areas, it really, the immediate area should be taken into consideration when making comparables. I had put together 7 different properties between the same traffic load on Talbot and on Notre Avenue. And if you were to take actual sales data into consideration, I think you'd actually decrease my property value. So that's just, that's something I wanted to say about that, was the immediate environment. I also live within the region of the Chalmers Neighborhood Renewal Corporation, which is heavily supported by the city of Winnipeg, and none of those other houses fall within that region. And it's a initiative to try and improve the area because of the deterioration of the area. So I find that the comparables aren't really quite comparable. So that's kind of what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Yeah, you want to go over in your summary, you have some sales data. Point that out to us?
I'm sorry, was that a question for me?
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, what was?
Do you want us to just review it ourselves, or you want to go through it and present it? So you have some sales data?
Yeah, oh yes, absolutely. So I pulled out 7 properties. And I accessed all my data from the 2019 to 2021 City of Winnipeg book published on the internet like I was instructed to. So that's where I got all my data. So there were 7 properties sold. The highest property was sold for $256,000, and that was on Nairn. So the street is quite comparable, but that house was 2 years old. My house is built in 1948. So that was the highest one. And then they range from 121,000 to that 256,000. So I did a little screenshot. I made a little spreadsheet and put that in my package as well. So it's just to show actual comparables about the bus route and the traffic that we see on our street.
Yeah, but we don't see the type of houses they are or their sizes.
Oh,
square feet they are. So. Right.
So yeah, I mean, I live in a little bungalow, so it's 1,000 square feet. I mean, I can provide all that too as additional information if that's what you'd like. But
the information is trying to use the information provided and trying to make it usable. So, okay.
Yeah. So it's included. The snapshot's included in there for you.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions to ask? Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Your type of house is a bungalow, is that correct?
That's correct.
And on your summary of sales data here, are you aware of what type of houses these 7 are that are listed?
There's one that's a 2-story. One is, and most of them are bungalows or like a story and a half.
There's only actually 2 properties there that are bungalows, and the city does not compare bungalows with 2 stories or 2 stories to 1 3/4. Would you think that a house of 1,000 square feet would sell more than a house of 649 square feet?
Well, I would say it depends on the condition of the house. Like I've had no work other than a new furnace. I've had no work done to my house. And I understand that one of the ones that was quoted on Talbot was a complete renovation inside. So it was like a brand new house inside. But I've got old windows. I've got an older roof. I can't subdivide my property, so there's no additional value there.
I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Ms. Knight, any questions of the applicant?
Yeah, just on the evidence that you presented in the 2 pictures of the property 401 and 406 Talbot you've mentioned.
Yeah.
The commercial building, is that what you're talking about, has been built right next to your property since the last assessment? Like when was that building built that it's not, you don't think it's being taken into effect?
Oh, I was just asking it was taken into effect. That was built in 2018, I think.
Okay. And what value are you asking for your property?
I'm looking for a 5% increase, which would be about 233,000.
233. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So any questions?
No questions.
And I don't have any questions either. Thank you very much. Consider it, and you'll hear from us.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
I'll admit the next applicant.
Yeah, we'll go then, I guess, to 204 Harvest Avenue.
Now, what did you want?
Applicant right now.
Okay.
Good morning, Winston, or good afternoon. Can you please come on camera and unmute?
Then I guess to,
Oh, and please turn off your YouTube stream as well.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, can you please come on camera and turn off your YouTube stream?
Okay.
Good morning, Winston, or good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you okay?
Yeah, sure. So are we good to go?
Yes, you do need to appear on camera so I can affirm you in.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize I needed to be on camera. Okay. Just 1 second, please. Not sure why my camera cannot detect it. For some reason, my camera. Can I log out and log in again, please? My camera is not. It says camera cannot detect. Cannot detect your camera. Please check the device and connection and try again. Just 1 second, please. Hello?
Hello, are you able, is your camera working now?
No, it's not. I don't know. This has not happened before. I didn't realize I needed to be on camera, so I didn't bother checking that part earlier.
Okay, so we will proceed without camera then. Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
My full name is Winston Obama.
You affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Capelli, when you're ready, you can proceed with your evidence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is located at 204 Harbison Avenue West. It is 401 Chalmers neighborhood. It is a roll number of 1408028100. It is a 1.5 story single dwelling built in 1913 with an effective year built of 1938. It is 1,042 square feet with a basement and basement finish. It has 1 full bath, 1 half bath. The subject property is central air conditioning. It has an assessed lot size of 2,724 square feet. The 2023 assessment roll value is $204,000, which is a total assessment per square foot of $195.78 per square foot. All comparables are in the same neighborhood area, 401 Chalmers. Comparable 2 to 4 are 1.5 stories. Comparable 1 is a 1 3/4 story. All comparables are a single dwelling built in 1913 or 1914. They have an effective age between 1934 to 1948. The living area of the comparables range from 952 square feet to 1,086 square feet. Comparable 2 and 4 have a part basement. Comparables 1 and 3 have a full basement. Comparables 1 to 3 have no basement finish. Comparable 4 has basement finish, the same as the subject. All comparables have 1 full bath. Comparable 1 and 3 have an additional half bath. Comparables 1, 3, and 4 have central air conditioning. Comparables 1 and 2 have a single detached garage. The lot sizes of the comparables range from 2,221 square feet to 3,298 square feet. The sales prices of the comparables range from 182,000 to 218,000. The time adjusted sales prices range from 186,900 to 230,000. This is a time adjusted sales price per square foot of $172.10 to $219.05. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bamwa, if you have any questions of the assessor, you can ask them now.
Yeah, my question would be this. Was this property seen before the decision to assess it at 204,000 was reached?
No, I did not see your house.
Okay. Because the condition of the house currently.
Hey, ask your questions, sir. Get a chance to tell us about the condition you do your presentation.
Okay. Okay.
Ask them.
Okay. Did you also consider the other properties in the same on the same street that were built in the same year or around the same year and are of the same size before the assessment value was reached?
We don't compare assessments. They're comparable 1 and comparable 2 are on your street, and they're sales that occurred within the reference period.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Belenki, do you have any questions of the assessor?
No questions.
Ms. Knight, do you have any questions?
I do not.
Yeah, I do one thing. I noticed the two comparables, comparable 1 and comparable 2 on the same street, both have lower per square foot values than the subject.
Yes, you are correct in that. If you can also see, both of those comparables don't have basement finish, and the subject property does have basement finish.
Both have single car garages and the property doesn't, so maybe one would even out with the other. You agree?
Depends upon what age the garages is. If they're old garages, it could certainly be less of a value than the basement finish.
Maybe, although it also depends on the basement finish.
Yes.
You say the same thing about it. Okay, the answer to that question, thank you. Okay, sir, you can go ahead with your evidence now.
Okay, so she just has mentioned about the basement being finished. I would like to point out that that basement is a half basement, a dwarf basement. It's not full, in the sense that it's not even actually is being used most of the times to store things, right? It's mostly useful for storage, right? You can't even fit someone there. That is one point. 2, I have in my submission, I was able to draw out some comparables. My comparable one is 200 Harbison Avenue, which is assessed at 165,000. It was built in 1913, the same year as 204 Harbison Avenue. It is actually 2-story building, not 1.5 stories. The square footage is 1,200 232, higher than 204 Harbison Avenue, which is 1,042. The land area is the same. It has finished basement. It has AC, no detached garage, which also 204 Harbison Avenue does not have any detached garage. So the comparable to is 207 Harbison Avenue, which is assessed at 180,000. It was built on the same year to 1913. The building type is 1.5 stories. The square footage is higher, at 1,194. The land area is 3,993, which is bigger. The basement is finished. It does have central AC. It does have an attached garage, which 204 Harbison does not have. The comparable 3 is 194 Harbison Avenue with assessed value of 180,000. It was built in 1911. 1 story, it is 1 story and 3/4. And then square footage is 1,264. Land area is 2,724. Basement, yes. AC, yes. Also, it does have a detached garage, which 204 Harbison does not have. Now, coming to the condition of the property, actually, 204 Harbison currently does not have a working central AC. Also, the condition of the property is so bad. The windows are old. The shingles need to be replaced. Actually, I did some work on the shingles, and the person that did it for me told me that I could get maybe another year on this, that I need to replace this. He said another year or 2. I need to replace the windows. I need to replace the shingles. I need to replace the floors. The deck is falling apart. The porch is falling apart. So, even the kitchen, everything is tearing down. But because of the condition of the property, I have not been able to sustain a tenant there. They all come, they take off due to one thing or the other. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to, I'm here to renovate that place. I'm here to secure fund to renovate that place, right? So because of this, there was a rent discount from what it used to be to 1,200. Even at this now, the tenant is telling me that because the AC is not working, he's asking for further discount. So also the stairs need to be reconstructed because I am not able to. People come in there. They said the step is too steep. It's made of iron. That staircase was done after the house was built. So I'm not able to. People are very picky about it. People and people with children find it difficult to use the staircase. So they want that to be removed and replaced. So this all ties to the cost of renovating that place, which is the reason it has not been done. I am looking at actually securing huge amount of fund in order to put that place in order. As it is now, there is no actual income coming from that place. What I mean by that is this: the cost of having that place is higher than what the money that I am getting from that place at the moment. the reason it is still there is because I am still hopeful that I can get some money and renovate it, and then at some point, because I don't want to lose out on that property, I purchased it at such a high amount. That was in 2014, and the reason for which it was purchased was not because I wanted a rental property. It was because I had a family visiting Canada then, joining me in Canada then, through the provincial nominee. And at that time,
you know what, excuse me, I've let you go a long time, but these things don't really matter on the assessment. You've given us a lot of information that will be helpful.
Yeah, so the point I was trying to make there is this: if you're looking at the purchase amount of 183,000, which it was purchased at, it wasn't that purchase amount doesn't actually reflect the value of the place, because the property was in the market for too long. No one was willing to purchase it for that amount because the asking price was too much. So the reason I purchased it was what I had just stated, and because of that asking price, no bank was willing to fund it. So Royal Bank assessed it. They said it was over assessed. They said it was over. The asking price was too much. They could not fund it. Scotia Bank could not fund it. So that's the point I was trying to make when I was mentioning about family. Okay, that will conclude my my presentation.
Thank you. Mr. Kapebi, do you have any questions to ask the applicant?
Yes. I see there the information you presented are assessments. Do you have any sales evidence?
Sales evidence in terms of what other properties in the area are selling?
Yes. Do you have any sales data from April 1st, 2018 to April 1st, 2021?
At the moment, no. I am basing my argument based on the condition of the property and the comparable properties on the same street that we have built on the same year, and that also have similar features.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Ms. Knight, do you have any questions?
What value are you asking for the board to seek for you?
Given the condition of that property at this point in time, and also given that given what I have seen from the comparable properties on the same street, for example, 200 Harbison Avenue, which is the same, which was built on the same year as 204 Harbison Avenue, which actually has two-story building.
You know that. You just answer the question how much is.
Yeah, I'm comparing. So I am looking at matching that, because that one is 165,000. So my submission, my request will be 165,000.
Okay, and then the second question is, so when you purchased the property in 2014, the value wasn't there. Have you tried refinancing it since then and had another appraisal done?
Because of the condition, no. Because
okay.
if
that's
I do
all.
it,
thank you.
Mr. Lackey, do you have any questions?
No questions.
I don't have any questions either. Thank you. You'll get our decision in the mail.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for attending. So we now have the last matter, I think, 445. Oh, no, there's one. You said that. We'll go back. But we have now 445 William Avenue. Yep. I'm just advised by one of our town members here that he needs an adjournment of about 20 minutes. Oh, no, 10 minutes? Okay, so I'm sorry. that we
I'd
don't
wait,
waste time.
I'll wait for the appellants though. Right now, we'll listen to this.
Oh, you have time to do this,
Yes.
and then you, oh, I see. Okay, we'll hear your application now.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we waited a long time, so.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
We cannot. It's been so patient.
Yeah, I know. We need to.
But before you take a seat, Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Yeah, I'm Hilary Samote. I'm here with you and I will bring my daughter and she will speak for me. I authorize her to speak for me.
Okay, so I'll get you to state your first name and your full name as well. And do you both affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You do.
Thank you. You both may be seated.
Seated in the front page. After all.
Okay.
But when you're ready, you can go forward with the evidence on 445 Wood Avenue.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is 445 William Newton Avenue. It has a roll number of 1409282200. It is located in 401 Chalmers neighborhood. It is a 1.5 story single dwelling with a year built of 1907. There is 1,224 square feet. It has a full basement with no basement finish. It has one full bath, one half bath, and has a detached multiple garage. The lot size is 5,737 square feet, and it has a commercial adjacent land influence. The 2023 assessment roll value is $131,000, which is $107.03 per square foot. The comparables are all in the same neighborhood, 401 Chalmers. They're all 1.5 story dwellings, single dwellings built between 1907 to 1915. They have an effective age built between 1907 to 1933. Living area of the comparables range from 996 square feet to 1,219 square feet. All comparables have a full part basement area, and comparable 2 has basement finish. All comparables have one full bath. Comparable 2 has a half bath like subject. Comparable 2, 3, and 4 have central air. Comparable 1 has an attached multiple garage. Comparable 2, 3, and 4 have a single detached garage. The lot sizes of the comparables range from 2,561 square feet to 4,028 square feet. Comparable 1 and 2 have commercial adjacent land influence. Comparable 1 also has school, and comparable 3 has a bus route. Comparable 4 has bus route, commercial adjacent, interior corner, and medium traffic. The sales prices range from $128,500 to $165,000. The time adjusted sales prices range from $143,300 to $185,100. This is a time adjusted sales price per square foot of $117.56 to $185.84. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now as you saw how we work, you have an option to ask some questions to the assessor.
No, Dad, do you have any questions for Assessor? I don't have any questions.
No, great.
Yeah, you don't have any questions?
Okay. Ms. Knight, do you have any questions of the assessor?
I do not.
Solanke, do you have any questions?
No questions.
And I don't have any questions, so you can go forward with your evidence now.
So for evidence, we would like to kind of comment on our condition of our property that's not reflected on the house assessment that was stated by the assessor.
And you absolutely have that right to do so.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted a couple of points to mention for our house. We do have some foundational issues. Recently, from the time of the reference date when they did the assessment, we had some water damage that has not been repaired, nor is it covered under our insurance. Significantly in our presented evidence would be in our bathroom. There is a hole indicated in that image where water had leaked through into the ceiling that had spread throughout the ceiling of our house, as well as our holes structurally in the roof and around the building, which you will see in the photos as indicated in one of the photos when we see the back view of it. There is a big hole or holes in the window of our roof where it leads to our attic that we are not using. Our house is constructed primarily of like wood, sawdust, and a little bit of concrete in it, but our attic is primarily wood. With that being said, with the holes in the window, in a sense, into our attic, a lot of rodents get in. So it can lead to structural and foundational issues as these rodents and squirrels will affect the foundational structure of our home because it is wood. Since the assessment date as well, we have not done any reservations whatsoever. We have kept it there even with the water damage, as noted in kind of the photos. We also have a full furnace as still shown in our evidence, via in the basement where it has not been changed since we've moved in there. Our heating is radiation heat, so again, hasn't been changed. We do have improper insulation with our structural foundation issues. That's an issue in the winter that's not reflected via the whole wooden kind of walls and whatnot. There's poor insulation on the upper half of our house, which leads to the water pipes freezing quite often in the winter, which is not accommodating to our Winnipeg weather. We also have an unfinished wine cellar in our basement. Our basement is not finished, but there is a wine cellar that has not been adjusted since we moved in there, and it is partially collapsing. As noted in one of our image here, you will see on our back porch, there will be a wooden, it's into our back kind of porch area, and there's a wooden block there. We are covering that big hole with that wooden block. This will lead to kind of foundational issues in our back porch where it leads to the kitchen. That's also kind of shown here in these photos. As well as in our evidence here, structure, again, there's some cosmetic things. Again, we have no plans of ever moving. This is our forever home. But you would see that some of the image sense that there's issues with our doors. There has been a window broken in there. We have not gotten it fixed since then. As well as you'll see for our bathroom and the piping, again, leading to our structural and foundational issues with our bathroom. As noted in one of the images there, you will see the pipes there, as well as there's a hole in the back there where you can see where rodents and again, pests can get in and eat away at that foundation, which will be a very big issue with it. So we would like to argue that the condition of the house or property isn't really reflected in the value that we have there because it's more of like a land that would be the value. What else here? There is one more thing I'd like to add, as well as some kind of cosmetic things you see in the evidence on the outside of the staircase. In the front porch, you'll see at the corner here, there's a big crack, which will again leads into the foundation of the house with the water in the winter, which will then lead to more further fixing that would need to be done. Other than that, we also would like to mention our garage as well. Yes, it is a multiple garage, but in the inside, it is also breaking down as well and structural damage in that as well. Especially, I would say in the windows, again, there's borders there where pests and all that can get in and destroy the foundation of the garage. We also have wooden flooring as well. So again, it's an old wooden flooring that was done way prior from the assessment, but it does have cracks in it as well, which also again will lead to pests getting into water damage into the structure of the foundation of the house. Yeah, we just, and then just reiterate, we haven't done any kind of renovations since the time of the last assessment, and we weren't planning to.
So you want to adjust it value, you want to sell it?
My dad wanted our adjusted value to be 125,000 because mostly our home, if in the future is not, it's livable, but future buyers will not see this as a beneficial home versus just the land that's offered. So we like to ask a little bit.
Okay, Evans?
Anything else?
That's it. She did already.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Ms. Kapepi, if you have any questions of the applicant?
I'm a little confused. You spoke of some pictures. Were pictures submitted in ahead of time? Because I didn't receive any pictures.
I had submitted a PDF copy a couple days ago. There is a PDF copy that was submitted.
I did not receive any pictures. So now, and now you're talking about some damage. Is that from water, or the rain this year, or what?
It's a combination of all. There's we had a burst pipe that my dad just fixed, as well as water and like winter that leaks through the roof. Again, there is holes in our bathroom, which will lead to it going to the ceiling where the holes are. So that's the kind of water damage we've been having, which we haven't gotten fixed.
Okay, pictures would be helpful. As I said, I did not receive any pictures, so I have no further questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
You guys have photos?
Any questions?
No questions.
Is that you have any questions?
Well, how do we have the pictures and the assessor does not?
That was an error on my end. I realize now that it got missed in my evidence exchange.
Okay. And so you're saying 125,000 is the value you're asking for? Okay, thank you.
I have no questions. Thank you.
Ready to go?
Ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah, all right, thank you so much.
Okay, and we stood down. Thank you. 421 Kimberly. Has there been any change in status there?
There's another. Oh,
Okay. And I see there's nothing filed on that one as well. We have no events coming yet.
no, we do not.
Okay.
Do we have to bring 401 Kimberly into so the assessor can read it?
No, absolutely. I'm aware of that. But I think that, I think you were here, Diane. I think that Mr. Blinky indicated he needed a slight recess for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So we'll do that when we get back.
Okay.
I apologize. There's no problem there about it. Okay. We stood down 421 Kimberly Avenue because there's no appearance, no brief file. So we'll go and do that one now. I believe when you're ready, you can go through your evidence on that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is 421 Kimberly Avenue. It has a roll number of 0201164800. It is located in 434 Rossman B neighborhood. It has a 2023 assessment roll value of $317,000, which is $317.32 per square feet. I presented comparable sales that support the assessed value, and I ask that the board confirm the assessment. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
No questions on my part.
Ms. Knight, any questions?
Yeah, I have just one question. So your comparable number 2, 417 Kimberly to 421 Kimberly, $309 a square foot as opposed to $317. What's drawing that difference? Oh, the multiple garage, single garage. Never mind. I think I figured it out now. Okay, sorry.
There is also, actually, I did include a permit and plans with this. I did talk to the homeowner, and he was not cooperative to let us in to come look at it. There are plans here, and it sounds like there is a new basement finish being added to it. You can see the permit there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, I don't have any questions either. Thank you. So this completes the agenda matters. So we're going to close and deliberate, and we'll be forwarding our decisions in due course.
Okay, thank you.